Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Critical D's. The Critical D's, although we'll kind of keep using the Critical D's. Winter 2017 Anime Retrospective.
I mean, we have the copyright, right?
I mean...
You have the trademark.
What? We never filed for a trademark. I mean, fuck! Damn it! No! No one needs to go buy that trademark now. Waste money. But anyways, so... Our website is going to cease to exist at the end of the month, but the spirit will live on.
We've been doing this since 2012. We need a website then, and we need one now.
We had a website then. The spirit will live on. I don't know if the tag will. I might still just tag it Critical D.
Just go to Chimara YouTube. Chimara, we'll figure it out.
Because apparently the people who are watching these are the subscribers on the YouTube channel anyways. Yeah. And all the subscribers are just there to watch PSO2 uploads, so I don't even know what the fuck.
That.
No, but... Like, that's where all my subscribers came from, were just because of the PSO2.
Well,
give them
what they want.
It's clearly I gotta start playing the game again, start uploading that game again.
You have free time now?
But anyways, we're gonna try, we're already like two and a half weeks into this next season, and we're really late. Life's hit us all hard.
No, I'm doing pretty good, you guys, though.
Okay. We're gonna try and get this quickly, because honestly, in my opinion, this is probably the worst season we've had since the season with Magic Wars.
I think it was probably better than last season. I'm thinking about it.
Wait, Irregular Magic High?
No, wow, no.
You think about Mao Senso?
Oh,
Magical Warfare.
That's another fight.
I think that was the worst season I've ever seen, and so I think this might be the worst season since then.
Like overall, you mean?
So raw.
Yeah.
Like average. Granularity.
I have to think about it. I have to add something.
Mainly, it's just because, like, I mean, foreshadowing. I gave 110, and I had to think about it quite a bit, really think about it. And
I gave out no 10s.
I mean,
I might have a 10 in there somewhere. I'll let you know.
I gave 1-9, and the rest were 8s or less.
But anyways, without further ado, let me zoom this thing. Whatever. Okay. Without further ado, Mike, did you say you wanted to say something about Aka 13 or not?
I didn't understand that show that much, so no.
I feel like that was like the hipster's pick.
Maybe.
Because
it didn't seem bad, I just couldn't care.
Because I only know of like one person who watched it, and he's hipster as fuck.
It was competent, but I just didn't care.
Okay, well...
The guy smoked a lot, that's about all I got. In his luxury.
It wasn't even a show I gave a chance. Something about the synopsis just I didn't give a shit.
The first episode, and everything else out there.
And the thing is, this season I started with a long list and it just shrunk fast.
It's because a lot of shows
part of that is we've
But,
watched a lot of anime. We kind of see some shit coming.
I mean, I think most of it was I had like 6 games to play this season.
I know the pain,
but whatever. All right, so let's move on to Akiba's trip.
The only thing it had in common with the game is they rip clothes off. The characters are different, which is why I like the game in the first place. They're clearly different from the game.
Okay, so
because I like the characters.
I know the premise of the game. I literally know nothing else, so I had no idea if the characters are.
It started off with the guy got kidnapped by the government, I think, and they were gonna torture him, but this woman who was a vampire saved him, and she bid him to save him. The thing is that because they're really different vampires. When they're out in the sun, naked, they just burn up and die. But with clothes on, they're able to survive it.
Right, because anime.
And I liked the characters a lot. It was like a poor man's persona in that regard. For the game played like garbage. Was the problem I had with Akiba's Trip. Mm-hmm. But I wanted an anime with those characters. These characters are not in the game whatsoever at all. So I don't know what the fuck they did here.
And you have this anime otaku, massive otaku guy or whatever, who's like... It's been so long. I watched 3 episodes with the guys, and then we decided to drop it. But we was like, what was the whole deal? What was it? Because he saw the chick who was trying to defeat all the vampires,
right?
And she killed him, but brought him back to life using whatever magical power,
vampire magic or whatever.
But so in order for him to survive, he also had to wear clothes and had to avoid losing his clothes,
right?
But then had to help her defeat the vampires that were trying to ruin the city.
It was really dumb.
Yeah, it was really stupid.
Had it had the game's characters, it probably could have been something worth watching, but it didn't have the game's characters. I have no idea why not.
The animation by Gonzo was ugly as fuck.
Yeah, not a good looking anime.
The premise was
fun premise.
Like whatever.
I mean, to be fair, the idea, the name Akiba Strip is clever. It's very clever.
It is triple entendre.
The only clever part of that entire series in a lot of ways.
So was the main character in the game, was his name Akiba? Like in this?
I don't remember. Okay. I played it 2015, 2016. Whenever it came out.
Well, anyways, yeah, I don't know. I'm not really gonna give it a grade, but I guess for anyone who's planning on watching it, it ain't like the game. So
another Civil War, Moses? What? What is going on?
I guess we should have done a little introductions. I missed that. I'm Ruben as usual. We got Mike.
Pull that line.
And
Back
Matt.
here.
Yep.
And Moses is here, but he didn't watch any anime, so he's gonna chime in later when we talk about Naruto.
No, I'm not. I'm just here reading comics.
A second Civil War?
It's over. This little last issue doesn't matter.
Okay. All right. Comics are dumb.
All right. Anyways, let's move on to the next one. Blue Exorcist Kyoto chapter.
Okay.
So
I like the first Blue Exorcist quite a bit.
Me too.
The problem I have with this anime is that it wanted you to remember enough about the anime that came out 6 years ago, about what happened in like the past, like the last quarter of it, but not enough to remember that it ended, and to forget the ending of it.
But they retconned it.
Right.
So they want you to remember up to a certain point, I think.
Without a recap episode for an anime that's literally 6 years old?
Yeah.
That's kind of a problem.
Well, to be fair,
can we get a 0.5 on this bitch?
D. Greyman did this like after being 10 years old.
But it didn't have a ending that didn't matter at the end.
I guess, but
That means there's hope for Kam get killed yet. Sorry, go on.
No, man, ended the way it should have ended. Definitively.
like in the manga.
Sure.
Anyways, but no, I mean, aside from that, just as this season itself, I felt like it fucking dragged on to a payoff that was nowhere near worth it.
I forgot half the characters were
Legit not worth it.
Okay, there was the boob lady, the cat, and the main guy and the brother.
Shemi Kuro.
Shemi.
Kuro.
Eyebrows.
Oh, that girl.
The other guys who don't care. They don't matter.
Shima.
Big guy, bald guy, hyperactive orange hair guy.
Mephisto. Shemi.
Mephisto's great, and he did
Yukio.
like one thing the entire thing.
Yukio, right?
And it was
Yukio?
useless. Huh?
Yukio's named the brother?
Yeah.
I forgot the name of the guy is, though.
No,
Ren.
Ren, yes, you're right. I forgot.
his name is Yukimura. Right?
No, Yukio.
No, his brother.
Yukiko.
Oh!
Yukiko?
Yukio, it's Yukio.
Okay.
Yukiko, hi. But,
God.
I just couldn't get invested in what's going on. I forgot what's going on.
like, I appreciated seeing the characters again and, like, seeing what's going on again. And I liked getting back into the things. But the problem is the immediate story was so fucking pointless.
I forgot everything
And
that happened.
I just didn't
Care.
like it.
Like the opening was something like what, Rookies and Punked again? Or who did the no, Rookies and Punked they did one of the openings. Who did the opening this season?
I can't remember.
What's it?
Uberworld.
It
Uberworld.
was overall, yeah.
Yeah. So
I personally think that if they wanted to bring back Blue Exorcist like this, they should have chosen a longer storyline from the manga and just done a longer show with something that's actually more meaningful.
that needed an episode 0. I don't like episode 0 ever, but that needed one.
It could have used one. Recapping like up to the point where they were
That would have been
planning
nice.
on working from.
That would have been nice, yes. There's one case I'm fine with that.
But yeah, I don't want to talk about the plot really because it's not important. But basically, it just wasn't worth it. And I think that Blue Exorcist deserves a better sequel than this. But
Just fucking go Hulk on it. Just that didn't happen. Shut up. Nothing to look over there.
complete. Well, do I want a complete remake? If they did like a Brotherhood style, where they just like fucking like fast forward through those like
Right.
whatever episodes in like
Yes.
6 episodes or something.
Kai.
Yeah,
Brotherhood Kai.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Sure, why not?
All right. Let's see here.
I wonder what you give scores to shows we didn't watch that much. No, 3.
Oh.
3 episode 3. Whatever.
I'll give. Oh yeah, I guess I'll give the score since I did finish it. Probably like a C minus.
Okay.
All right. Next up is Bang Dream. I think I'm the only one who. So this show not only started late, but there were like various weeks where it just didn't air, and so its 12th out of 13th episode came out today,
What?
and its 13th episode will hopefully come out next week.
That's
and
funny.
the final episode. But it's basically just like it's like another K-On! It's like the same fucking thing. Like,
Oh, that's why I didn't watch it, because there's another K-On! That's why.
It's just like, yeah, it's like, man, I love stars, and you know what stars are, synonymous with? It's guitars. So, let's go learn music, and it's your run-of-the-mill.
I'm gonna name my guitar Stringy.
Let's...
Someone name a guitar in that anime?
They didn't fucking name their shit.
Oh, man.
They're like, it's just a run-of-the-mill, like, okay, let's you and me, okay, let's start a band club, because fuck, why not?
Was it
And-
light music or was it heavy music?
They kind of they put it in the genre of girls band because the idea of it is that there's this place called Space ran by this old lady who used to be like an very famous like girls band member or whatever, and so basically all these girls bands would audition at this place to play live there in front of an audience, and so their goal, they went there, they watched a live production, they're like, oh my god, I want to do this, and so the entire goal of the entire show is them getting people together, getting better, to be able to audition to this place and be able to play live there like she saw because she's inspired. Right. That's fine, whatever. I mean, low calorie, I get it. I enjoy it. I didn't dislike the show by any means. It's just what it is. But I mean, it kind of like pains me sometimes to see them go through like the same motions as you'd expect. Like, oh, the dramatic I can't play, or oh, the dramatic she's having family problems so she can't join the band, or oh, the dramatic we fucked up the instrument right before the production.
Tropes are tropes.
So I mean, it was very trope laden, but I liked having it around, I guess, and I enjoyed watching it. One thing that's really interesting is their pupils were all like stars.
Yeah, I mean, look, in AKB, they were all hearts.
Yeah.
So star motifs.
But anyways, fun show, whatever. If you like the K-On! And that type
if you want
of
a
show,
poor man's K-On!,
if you want more poor man's K-On!, then just that's. K-On's already a poor man's K-On!
In a lot of ways, yeah.
But it's fine. I give it a B-.
Okay.
Or actually, like C+. Let's go C+. Next up, Chaos Child.
Oh boy.
What was that about again?
So this was the sequel to Chaos Head.
Took place.
Now, right. Oh yeah.
Let me just.
I was
something.
mega confused when I stopped watching it.
Let me preface something. I really like this show.
Okay.
Now let's talk about it.
It's pretty good. It's 6 years out. Okay, so if you watched Chaos Head, this is 6 years after the events that happened in Chaos Head. Although this is a new set of characters, entirely. What's the name of the group that does these scientific mages? Yeah.
Was episode 1 45 minutes?
Yes, because the first half was a recap of the first season of Chaos Head, and I actually kind of like what Anthony said on Facebook. He's like, that one episode did the entire game better than the entire season of Chaos Head.
Yeah,
and I was like, you're right. It's like that was making sense. I was like, damn, that did. Like, I kind of understand what's going on now,
because
and it leads well into Chaos. That it did what was needed.
Yeah, because if you hadn't done it before, seen it before, I mean, if you want to get into if you've seen Steins Gate, I mean, and you want to get into the rest of these, Chaos Head is actually a really good story, but just play the visual novel. Don't watch the anime. It's bad.
The anime is horrible, and like that's like what I think was it Dean or Gonzo or someone shitty that did it way back.
Yeah, and I've noticed all the mages like Paranormal Science Adventures are actually so far up to this point have all been done by different studios.
Yeah. And
every single one of them.
Silverlink took over this one, and it was really well done. It was actually probably one of my better liked shows this season. I liked what was going on. I liked the mystery. It was pretty suspenseful. There were a couple of twists.
The end when you found out it was actually the thing on the stage. I was like, oh. Yeah. I was like, oh, this. That actually, I didn't see that.
It was pretty crazy. Like that's the thing is like you can't see it coming, and it's a lot better.
I also love how their weapons are called D swords.
The D sword, the critical D sword. But I mean,
sort of Democles. Don't call them D's, more like it.
Yeah. Throw them. Drop them D's.
D's nuts.
D's nuts. Foul, bitch.
But it's really hard it was really hard for me at the beginning of the show to be in a mindset of, let me give this show an honest chance because of two things. A, it's following one of the fucking worst anime of all time. Yeah. B, none of the major shows have been good since Steins Gate. Like, Robotics Notes was okay at best. Fucking
Occultic 9 was terrible.
Occultic 9 was legit the worst show of that, like, year or season. Yeah. And I think they made another one I didn't like. Wasn't there another one?
Magic and anime don't really get along that well.
Well,
they can.
They can, but rarely.
No, Chaos Head, Steins Gate, Cultic 9, Robotics Notes,
Chaos
Child.
No, he's I thought there was another major, but
I think that's actually it.
Anyways,
But anyway,
just going into this show with a positive outlook on what it possibly could be was very hard. And I mean, it had a kind of a slow start. I was like, okay, whatever, like build up or whatever. But I think after Steins Gate, it was my favorite Mages anime adaptation.
I wasn't expecting a lot from it, but it turned out to be better than. Well, I didn't finish Occultic Night because it was so bad.
It was.
I mean, Robotics Notes, like, this did...
The problem with Robotics Notes is that it was too long. There was no reason for that show to be 25 episodes.
No, there really wasn't. So this kept it kind of nice, like...
Or 22 or something?
It was 24. But this kept it nice, like, in its concise, like, 12 episodes.
No, I think it was 22, because I think that was the same season as Psycho-Pass, and the Psycho-Pass season 1 had 22 episodes, and I remember I think it was like...
Was it? Oh,
I think.
I could...
I'm gonna look it up, but anyways, keep going.
But either way, like, I had hopes for... Well, I think with Robotics Notes, though, I think the studio did the best they could.
It was 22. So Psycho-Pass, yeah.
Because it was Production IG that did Robotics Notes.
Yeah.
And I mean, I think they kind of just did the best they could with the material they had to work with.
I think the problem is, and I think it was like an unfortunate problem, it's like I think they were given a good budget to do it. They're like, okay, well, since we have the money to do a full 2 cours, then let's really try and flesh out the entire story rather than cut out bits and parts like we would normally need to do to make it a 12 or 13 episode. But I think it wasn't interesting enough in Robotics Notes, so it just felt like it was just lingering on and dragging.
Well, not only that, but like most of the characters weren't even all that fun to watch in Robotics Notes. At least the characters in Chaos Child were, for the most part, entertaining.
I like the main guy.
Yeah,
he was crazy, but I liked him.
Yeah, he's like all into this. He's like gung ho about this detective stuff, and I kind of appreciated his passion for it. The main character of Occultic Night had the same kind of deal going on, except he was like
he
really,
was too eccentric. He wasn't like at least like trying to be like an intellectual guy.
Yeah, he was also annoying on top of that. So like, and I mean, at least in this, like, actually my favorite character was actually the blonde chick, the one that knows whether or not you're lying.
Oh yeah,
God, she was my favorite.
So. I don't think I missed anything in the show, but I'll ask you, since actually none of you finished it. But you know that girl who's just playing video games in the club room the entire time?
Yeah.
She was literally never important, was she? Like, did she actually ever do anything? But I liked I like the twist. Well, there were various twists which I liked, but I really appreciated the one where she was created for his desire, and he didn't really know what his desire was, and so like. His desire to like kind of be important, because they were going through that whole philosophy like Japanese like mindset, like the Japanese people don't think they're important in life. They're happy enough just posting something on like Twitter or Facebook and thinking that's my mark on the world. And so this guy wanted to be something more, and that's kind of how things started. So he real booted that chick into existence, and she basically created a mystery for him to solve.
And it was nuts.
Big spoiler, sorry for anyone who's going to watch this, but yeah, she created a mystery for him to solve, and that was the whole purpose of the show. And I thought that was really interesting.
Make sure to put a spoiler tag before that incoming.
Anyone who has been listening to this knows that we spoil the shit out of everything.
I guess.
Anyways, yeah,
it's probably a solid A-, though, I think.
Yeah, I'd say either A-, B+, right around there is definitely where I put it. Surprisingly one of the better shows of the season. I was not expecting it.
Also, because Silverlink.
Yeah, they did good this time.
I was actually surprised because normally they don't really do like the series.
That was Silverlink?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Sometimes they don't make they've been doing a lot of like ecchi shows.
It's like they didn't want me to watch it.
But they're not.
Gotta believe.
They're known for doing like those
bad
like,
shows.
Those,
See average shows that Ruben gives A's.
I mean, Moses.
Recently, I've not been given them.
You're not wrong, Moses. You're not wrong. Most of their shows are pretty ass, but.
But here's the thing: they made all the Ilya shows, and so I give them a
like
pass.
I said, C- shows.
I give them a pass.
But either way, though, like I was actually surprised to see him do something like this. So that's like out of their normal scope of.
It really was.
I mean, I saw Chaos Child, like I can't watch this. I'm like, oh, Silverlink. That's probably one reason I just decided definitely not to even pick it up. But yeah,
they did one other show this season though that we'll get to that I read all the manga for, and it's great.
All right, let's move on. Demi-chan Kataritai.
Oh, I'm back up now.
Interviews with what do they call them?
Monster Girls.
Monster Girls.
Oh, that's what that was.
I finished it.
Yeah.
Oh god,
it's good.
Ugh.
I finished. We watched. This is one of the shows we watched as a group at the house. It was fun.
It's fun.
I enjoyed. So first off, the main teacher dude, he's awesome.
He's great.
And I love how he's just so fucking ripped for no reason.
Yeah.
And they're all like talking and like they're all like, "Why are you so strong, man? Look at those muscles. Oh man, muscles."
Yeah.
And it's just like never touches on it.
I like how just curious he is about how, what do you call them, like demi something?
They call them just demi-chans, demi-humans.
Demi-humans were how they integrated into society. Like how, like, he's talking to like a vampire chick, and she's like, "Well, I have this desire to suck blood, but I can't because they never make any blood. So I just like chew on my sister's arm when I get the urge."
Yeah.
He's like, "Get. You know, it's like he cared about them as students,
Right.
and how they operate. Like the Duahan, how she like has a weird like head harness thing. She does homework is kind of funny. And how she, like, he took the head on a date but left the body with a vampire, and the vampire started fucking with her.
Yeah. There were definitely, like, clever, funny moments, and the characters were likable, and I also did like the delving into, you know, how would these creatures exist in real life.
Yeah. Also,
so
I like the succubus teacher.
She's good.
How she had to go through, like, she couldn't be on a train with people, otherwise she'd make them want to fuck her, basically.
I just like when she was at the pool later, she's like, "Look at my swimsuit!" And the guy's just like, "Ugh."
I want to feel that once. I want to know what that feels like. This overwhelming, this lust that she just inspires.
Yeah. She's like, I can't sleep near other people when they're asleep, or else they'll all have etchy dreams.
Or she touched the guy and he didn't react, and then he reacted. He's like, "Fuck! Oh god!" Just,
Yeah.
Oh, whoa, god! This weirdest boner. Just. It's a fun show though. I like it. It's really well done. Yeah.
I mean, you know, I personally enjoy these like low calorie like slice of life shows, and this one put a little more of a
twist on it,
mysterious twist on it, but still had all the elements of a good slice of life. So I enjoyed it. Give it a B plus.
B. Yeah.
Let's see. Matt, did you watch any of it?
Of what, Demi-chan?
Yeah.
No.
Okay. All right. Next up, we have fucking goddamn. Hold on, I gotta pause this. Do I have this working now? Yeah, I do. All right. Next up is Fuuka.
Yeah.
Fuuka is the poor man's White Album too.
Well, look, I watched Suzuka, so this is kind of it's not really a.
I like this better than Suzuka.
Well, yeah, I do.
Suzuka is something I watched way back because someone was like, "You have to watch Suzuka," and I was like, "All right," and it wasn't bad. It was too long. I don't know why Suzuka was 24 episodes.
Well, and this, like, I don't know why they call this a sequel, because it's really not. It's more like a...
No, it's not a sequel. It's a spiritual successor.
Yeah. So, I mean, but I actually did enjoy it quite much. Like, that kind of... So, like, that kind of rock that they do, like, in, like, Japanese music, like, that's actually what I really like. That's actually, like, my favorite style of rock. I
like that rock. Like the J-rock, yeah.
Except it's... When you say J-rock, though, most people think, like, Miyavi, like, Gazette, and Versailles, like, stuff like that. That's Visual K.
Yeah, it's different.
And, I mean, there's actual... If you're going just by music, though, I mean, they're kind of more hard, like, screamo-type music, and I don't like that at all. I like...
there's Free Long Las Vegas kind of screamo-type rock.
Kind of, yeah, but it's, like, I don't... Like, have you ever heard Rage Against the Machine?
Yeah.
Okay, so think, like... guitars and like aggressiveness,
right.
like Avenged Sevenfold,
yeah.
but with their like lyrics, and I kind of don't really like that.
It depends for me.
Or like Slipknot, I don't like stuff like that.
Yeah.
So this kind of rock is what
that's
really
more my speed. Yes.
Yeah, I like this kind of music a lot, and that's kind of what I watch it for.
Like the Overworld, the Age of Generations. You know,
Overworld's good. I like.
Yeah, like those.
Like this show.
Yeah.
Okay, so this show is. I mean, the premise is Suzuka and what's his face's daughter. Fuuka, which they never actually say in the show, but
you know it's...
And they never see her... Or no, you do see her
You
mom.
do see her once.
You see her mom. No, you see her more than once.
Or a couple episodes.
So the mom was...
Very briefly.
So the mom was important.
Is that mom Suzuka?
Yeah.
Where's the green hair? She had green hair, right? Doesn't she have green hair? Suzuka has green hair.
Look...
Wait, hold on. I literally just saw... Now, fuck it. Hold on. Hold on.
Look, how old is
I'm pausing this recording.
Like, screw
you. Okay, alright. Okay, so, we're back. No, Suzuka has blue hair. I was wrong. That she's... Everything's A-okay. But we also did find out that Kimi Uramachi's the same writer, and apparently Fuuka shows up, and there's a lot of things going on here. Anyways, so what were we talking about?
They're making a band. They're making the band with P Diddy.
What?
Nobody but you did.
So,
Okay, good.
God, no. Shut up.
So, yeah, it was love triangle. Guy has childhood friend who's an idol singer, and then he meets Fuuka at school.
But Fuuka's a fan of childhood friend.
Right, they both are.
Yeah, and
then they're like, let's yada yada things happen. Let's make a band. And then childhood friend comes back and meets him for the first time in a long time, and love triangle.
I like the girl who didn't talk to the guy at all in the cafe. They found out they were chat friends on fucking what on Faceline on
Twitter in that one.
Twitter on Twitter, yeah.
That was actually a Twitter.
And then she started losing her mind about it. That was kind of funny. Then they also all of them had no point in that show whatsoever at that point. I don't know why they're even there.
I mean, they needed their band.
It took me a while to realize it too, but like the further I got in the show, I was like in the opening, I was like, so I'm seeing like the characters they're focusing on, but then I'm seeing like these other characters, and I was just like, what the hell? And then I was like, oh, it's the original band members in the opening.
Oh yeah, makes sense.
So when they first did the performance on the beach, I thought it was awesome. Until I remember it was the opening. Oh, whatever. Who cares? This is the opening. It's a great opening. Great song.
The other inserts that they did though, like you didn't actually hear all of them, but I downloaded the soundtrack though, and those songs are actually amazing. Too.
Yeah, they're good.
Yeah, you purchased and downloaded the soundtrack.
Yes,
I'm gonna go home and also purchase and download the soundtrack
from Amazon at jp.com.jp. Yeah,
co.jp.
Right. It has probably the best intro songs of the season. I'm guessing.
Yeah.
It's good music,
no doubt.
But also the problem with the triangle is that it's boring. It's a boring love triangle.
I mean, I don't think the triangle was done poorly in that it's just the triangle we've had too many times at this point.
But I feel
it's
like
an overdone triangle.
What album 2 did it better because they actually like progressed it and made it more mature.
So,
well, they were also like out of high school at their age.
Were they out of high school?
In White Album 2, they were older. This one, they're like first and second years in high school.
Oh, were they?
Yeah. So I mean, they're only like 16 years old. Mm. I mean,
stuff can happen.
You really think back to like the high school days. It's like
stuff can happen.
The problem with this show and something I'll give an edge of White Album 2 over, although I think they both have their strengths and weaknesses, is that in White Album 2 you didn't know the winner because of the fucking title of the show.
Oh yeah.
They even get together. They got together, I think, because they're holding hands and stuff.
Fuuka quote wins, but wrong choice. Anyways,
it's fine.
But,
it's a fine anime. It's okay.
It's fine, and like I enjoyed it. I really did. But
I liked how the band's focus was like still there despite them leading you to believe that the triangle was supposed to really be what was going on. I mean, the triangle is really what it was about.
Right.
But I love how they didn't just like shove the whole band thing aside just because of that. They kept that going. So there was always something engaging going on at any given point in time. Also, I thought the animation was really crisp. I liked it. So
it was good. I guess I do. Yeah, you're right. Like I like that they showed how their decisions in the triangle affected other people rather than just themselves. Like when Fuuka was like having issues, being, I don't want to use the word, but the word with the guy, and then it affects the band as a whole. Her decisions affect them because now, their band is fucked.
Yeah.
Rather than just like, oh, well, she doesn't want to be around him anymore. No harm, no foul. So there were more consequences in this. I like that.
Yeah.
I give it a B+.
Yeah.
I don't feel like the old Japanese thing of you're an idol so you can't have a boyfriend because I'll make all the otakus stop buying your shit because they can get with you.
It's just a real thing.
It's a weird Japanese thing.
It sucks, but it's a real thing.
Yeah. So the whole thing. Oh, your friend. You probably with your friend. Fuck you. You can't. You fuck that guy.
That was the same deal they had in Wild 1 and 2.
Did they? No.
Because it was the same. Well, I think Wild 1 for sure because that
I
they were.
I didn't watch 1 and 2. They weren't idols. They were just
2.
They were in high
they
school.
were not.
So.
Yeah. But.
God, it's been so long since I've seen one.
So Wild 1 was weird because like I remember the show, but what I remember like the most about that show is the fact that like the main guy would like screw the agent of like Rina. So he's like in the love triangle. He just keeps having sex with the agent instead, and I was like, this makes no fucking sense. And I like how Wild 2.
Oh, it was like a love like star.
Well,
almost.
There was no love between him and the agent. He was just like, I don't know how to handle these two girls, so let's have sex. And she's like, got it. And Wild 2 is much more straightforward.
Yeah.
But
B minus.
All right, Matt.
Yeah, B plus. I think.
All right.
Right around there.
Where did this go? Here we go. Okay. Oh yeah. All right. Next up. Fuck. Hold on.
You lose.
Damn.
Okay. Next up we have, and is it gonna work this time? No, good enough. Fuck whatever. Next up we have Gabriel Dropout.
Gross.
Fun.
All right.
It's empty calories as well.
This
You like that Satan chick more than I do.
this show.
What? This show's what? Fine? I agree, it's fine. Nothing to get excited over.
This show is so incredibly fucking good.
Whatever. Okay.
This show is the most spot on comedy I have seen in a very long time. And between this show and something we'll get to later is the only like real shining stars of this entire season. So Gabriel Dropout is a show about a couple angels have to go live life in the human world to like basically it's kind of like their internship coming out of school.
Right,
it's like they have to go and like do good deeds and level up their angelness.
Oh my
and,
god, that's a ripoff of. Oh my god.
And
That.
so basically, and then there's also people from hell that they're supposed their whole goal in being a human world is not ever really touched on because I think they're just supposed to cause mischief and like learn how to be like the ruler of the underworld. But the angel, essentially Gabriel, is like the top class angel, and she comes down. She's like the perfect girl, very helpful and everything. But then she accidentally stumbles upon this MMO that just happens to be running on her computer, and she falls into the microtransaction despair and becomes essentially a fail. Or what was the word? Failing angel. Like fallen angel, but she's a failing angel. Yeah. Failing angel.
You like this show a lot more than me.
There is something great in like every fucking episode of the show, and I don't know how many comedy anime I could possibly like find with that. Like every episode there was something really clever and funny. And the characters were perfect.
They were fine.
The animation was really good.
Uh-huh.
The plot, the premise was just so incredibly funny.
It's a fine premise.
It executed the jokes and all like the settings and scenarios perfectly.
I liked how they kind of flip. Like
I've already seen this show 3 times over.
Boy,
Wow.
look, I'm
ready to watch it again.
I like how they kind of flip like Gabriel and the other girls kind of rolled. Gabriel kind of being a dick and the other girl being kind of funny. I think Tanya sucks. I don't like her at all.
She's Tanya McDowell
because I've seen her before. And her character always sucks because she's a bumbling idiot.
How far is she in the show?
Like 6 episodes.
6?
Yeah.
Okay, so like episode like 9 or 10 or so, they all go back to their families. Like they go back during break to visit their families, and they have Satania's family. And Satania's family is just as high strung as she is. Like they're all sitting around the table, like eating their like fancy dinner with their like red wine, and they're all like talking about how like awesome and like hellish they are and what hellish things they've done, what hellish things they could do. But I mean, you just find out slowly as the scene progresses just how cheap everything is. And she has like a little brother. And the little brother just has this look of just like the resting like you said resting bitch face last night.
Yeah.
He's like the resting like I can't believe this shit face in my family. And so like you find out like they're eating like fucking like shit like takeout chicken. They're drinking like tomato juice or whatever. And the magnum opus of the scene is where you find. So it looks like they're eating in this long like dining hall, and they have this large house.
Right.
And the magnum, like the best part of the scene is right that you find out that it's actually a very small room, and they painted a mural on one of the walls to make it look like a table kept going on.
Okay, that's fun.
And they live on the second half of their bakery that they run.
That's fun. That explains how Tanya is the way she is.
And so Tanya's so proud of her little familiar, like little pet she has, and she wants it to grow up to be like this big ferocious thing, to be her like sidekick for when she's ruling the underworld. And then Vignette, the nice angel,
yeah,
she got this cute little puppy before she left, and when she comes back, it's as big as her house. So she takes it on a walk, and she's like, "What the fuck happened to my cute dog? God damn it!"
It's Clifford.
And then it's Clifford. And then Satania is like proudly walking her little like devil familiar, and then the dog breathes fire on it. And Satania's just crying. much. And vignettes like
I wish we would have gotten
It's
that
so
sooner. But
there's someone. Did you get to the part where Satania brings the gun to school?
I think I did. I forget.
Oh,
I might didn't if I forgot.
Every episode was so there was something so good in it. Every episode was so good, and there was never a dull moment. And what anime? There are very few anime I can say that about for comedy's sakes. I mean,
Certain Service.
Yeah,
to a certain extent,
very good one, too.
Shionetta.
Not when you consider the last 5 episodes of that show.
But the first 8.
I'm just saying, consistently that good the whole way through. Very few.
Certain Service
like
probably the
Baka Test.
Baka Test. Yeah.
Like
Ichizone.
Ichizone season 1.
Yeah.
But
there are many great comedy anime.
And that's what just makes things like this so special to me. Is that it's just so rare. It's get something like this. I'm like, it's.
Okay.
Anyways,
all right.
So. Just as a spoiler, I don't think this is the best show of the season, but it was my favorite show of the season.
That's fine.
And I'd give it an A+.
Okay, sure.
Well, I might pick it up since I'm down to.
I'll watch it a 4th time, Matt.
Man,
I'm down.
I'm ready to just fucking watch it.
I just don't. I love they went into Tanya's backstory, but I don't like Tanya at all.
I'm down to 7
she's just like the
shows
same
right now.
bumbling. I want to be the greatest idiot that's in a lot of anime.
But she always has a great theme. Dun 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 dun.
I just don't care.
God. Whatever. I'm down to 7 shows right now, so.
All right.
Maybe.
So
I watched that first episode of that one you told me though, the frame arms.
Oh, the fads?
Frame arm. Oh God!
What's a frame arm? What?
Girls.
That's facts. Yep.
God. Okay, that show, first of all, Ruben, is fucking stupid.
It is stupid.
That's basically like what Buso Shinki should have been, but it's still dumb.
Let's not talk about it right now. But that show is fun, stupid. It's stupid. All right. So, Moses, you watched the first episode of Gabriel Dropout when I forced you to watch it at your place.
Yeah, I was hoping we kind of moved past that so we didn't say anything. It's a funny show. I enjoyed it. I'm not sure how much of it I could have taken.
Yeah, that's the thing.
But-
You'll take 11 more
No,
tonight.
I don't think so. Yeah, I won't be here.
It wasn't bad. I don't enjoy comedy anime a lot. It's really hard for me, but
Yeah,
I'm not gonna lie, I did enjoy that.
Okay. I don't know if this marker is fucking working, but let's try. Okay, cool, it worked. Next up, we have handshakers. And by next up we have handshakers, I mean next up we're going to hear Matt bitch about handshakers. Because apparently Matt somehow, like, sometimes I watch things that surprise me that I finish it. Like, I'll watch really bad things. Like, I'm going to get to one later that I somehow got through the entire thing of. I could not get through 10 minutes of this show.
It's a pretty show. Because they always make pretty shows.
Okay, Mike. Actually, it's funny you say that. It's really funny that you say that.
Why?
Because, yeah, you said you watched episode 1 and it was pretty, right?
Yeah.
Okay, well, guess what? All the budget went to that one.
Oh, there's a Kate did the same thing, huh?
Yeah.
Cool.
Now,
Glad to see the
so are you ready?
Tapestry of that. Yeah, that's
so
fucking
are you guys ready to hear about something that's like so basic that they should have just like left alone that actually somehow made it make less sense than season 1 of
Well,
K?
first off, okay,
What was
first off,
premise? What was going on?
they are in a dream world.
So it's
Is it
called
this a dream?
it's called the Ziggurat. That's
Cool.
what it's called.
Cool.
They have
Any
like
other
these.
letters you can start that with.
So
Yeah.
they have a companion that they hold hands with that they share like their power with basically.
That was the stupidest fucking plot
It
device,
was.
and I couldn't get past
It was. So what they do is each person that's in there summons what's called their Nimrod. It's like their weapon. That is what it's called. I'm not even kidding.
Yo, give me that Nimrod.
They just gave up, huh? They
So
gave
it's-
up. They're
so-
like,
so
everyone's
they-
cave gives a fuck.
So if you
maybe
fight,
they need dumb shit. Fine, they'll come running. It's pretty cool.
so you fight each other in there. If you get hurt in there, you're just like tired. Like when you come out of it, and like supposedly like the ziggurat like appears and like forces like you into it, and then it's like a whole separate dimension. So it's like different from like everything else. You can destroy all these buildings, and then like when you come back to the real world, they're just still there. It's really stupid. They did a poor job of explaining how that works. The scientist guy that was in that first episode, who by the way is the same voice actor as Yosuke Hanamura,
Cool.
Yosuke Hanamura.
and Hamza in Rage of Bahamut, the little duck.
Oh, okay.
Anyways, not important. He tries to explain why this guy has to hold hands with this girl because the rest of them that they fight throughout the entire thing, they
They
don't
make her
have
up from a coma or something.
Yeah, so
Yeah, that was they
That's a
wanted to
plot
touch on
point.
that like the first 10 minutes. I'm like, she's dead. She's not dead.
So that's a plot. So that's a plot point. Later on, they get to the point where they can like not hold hands for like up to like a couple hours, and they're okay.
Cool. Great.
But of course, they do the typical thing where like she moves in with him because reasons, and his parents are just like
They're cool with it.
magically
Like,
cool with it.
Wait, I thought wasn't it his sister? Or no?
No, it was not actually his sister, but she looked a lot like her. And then there was this.
That shit.
There was something really dumb. So there's this other guy who's like the typical like in anime, you know, the guy that's always got like the slick hair that wears glasses. That's always like like I'm always right kind of guy.
Yeah.
He was apparently a partner scientist with this other guy who's very like different. And those two experimented with this shit years ago, and then shit went sideways. And then
These two men tried to experiment holding hands for power. It didn't quite work.
So this girl that's in a coma, like he basically decided like he's gonna try and like bring her back and like find someone compatible with her so she can live. The other scientist was like, "Oh, we failed, cut our losses." Mm-hmm. So yeah, they wasted a lot of time doing like slice of life shit, like bringing this girl like to school with the guy, doing all the dumb shit, going to like school festivals and shit like that. That was a complete waste. But I guess they had to fill in the 12 episodes.
They had no idea
because
to do that shit,
if they made it just about them fighting like the other pairs of like people, this show would have been done in like 6 episodes.
Probably better too.
Yeah.
So they come across. Actually, the one fight you probably would have enjoyed, Ruben, is there's a girl who's an idol, except she's not really. She's like not known by any.
Welcome to anime.
Well, anyways, in this whole world, like that's what she is. She basically fights like Rise does in Ultimax.
Oh, okay.
And then her partner is the producer. It's actually really funny.
Okay.
But they get beat, and then they're just like, well, shit, like, how could we, like, lose? Like, this girl doesn't even, like, have any power. It's just him doing everything. Like, we shouldn't have lost. And everybody feels that way after they beat them, and it's really stupid. Spoiler alert, the final boss is the other scientist dude, and the clone of this, like, sister. This
Of course it is.
Yeah.
Great.
Makes no sense.
So the one that he's shaking hands with is not a clone of his sister. It's just a girl that looks like his sister.
Yes.
But
it's
the
a
final boss is actually a clone of the sister.
But she also looks like the girl that he's with right now, which is dumb. His actual sister, she's long dead. Like, they established that. That's whatever. But, anyways, at the end of this whole thing, they were the whole point of, like, the whole fighting thing was supposed to be granting somebody's wish. And I'm like, but Fate already does this better. Like, why? So,
oh my god, it was kind of like that.
Yeah.
Ooh.
And in the end, they really do is they basically make the other scientist guy like realize like, okay, there is hope or whatever, and then he kind of just scowls and like walks off and goes, I'll continue.
Oh, the final boss symphony. Okay, cool.
He's like, I'm just gonna continue to do my research my own way. I'm still not partnering up with you because I still hate you because we still fucked up years ago, even though it was equally both our faults. Like you still suck. So and then they all the rest of the people that do you remember the class representative in the main guy's class?
No.
Vaguely. Yeah. Yes, I do.
She's also a handshaker.
Oh, of course she is.
And her little brother is the other one, and he fights with cards.
Great.
That's why if you would have watched more than one episode, you would have seen like random like pieces where there's like Vanguard cards on the ground.
Oh. No, they had touched on that in the first episode.
Did they?
I think
Okay.
I think that was the show where I'm like, is that a real Vanguard card?
And it is.
I'm like,
And
how are
that's-
they not getting sued?
And that's how the class representative's little brother fights. He fights with cards. But
Is it always Vanguard or is it something else?
Is it always crit?
it doesn't
It's
actually
always
say,
crit, right?
It actually doesn't say Vanguard. He just like plays these like cards, and then like it's like Yu-Gi-Oh! It where like you see this big like hologram of a card like go like this on like facing down, and it goes. And
Good, you got a heel trick. Move.
and then shit comes out of it. His one downside though,
Heel
like,
trick.
it's so unbalanced, like how some of these people have these powers. Because when he runs out of cards, then he loses. So just like in the game.
Just fucking
So I'm
fucking health burn. Good.
So
gotcha.
then of course the main guy who's like thinks like an engineer is like, I wonder if I just dodge everything and just wait till he runs out of cards. And then he can't do anything. And then I go attack him. Wonder if I'll win.
Well, Matt, he should be playing a Battle of Wits deck.
God, fuck! I hate you so much. Get out. Okay. Anyways, this show makes no sense. There was a resolution, but it really did. They really didn't. There was no point to why they made this guy do all this shit.
Is it? It's the same studio as K.
Yeah.
Yes.
It shows because they can make really good arts when they want to, and they don't
I mean-
know fuck about writing about anime. So
I mean, they did this really cool like animation thing where it was like where they put animation on real like locations kind of thing. I forget what that's called,
rotoscope.
but it wasn't rotoscope.
Well, they do that for people. I don't know for
Yeah,
locations though. That's interesting.
Yeah, they for like the backgrounds, like the places that were stationary, like the buildings and stuff. That's kind of what they did, and I mean that looked kind of cool. And I liked that they didn't have people that the other people in the background, the bystanders, weren't just like standing still like in most anime that you see.
Right.
They were actually all moving. So I did.
I guess if you
appreciate that.
rotoscope real people moving in a real environment, you could get away with a lot of easy animation that you wouldn't otherwise be able to do.
But either way, at the end of it, I felt I didn't feel like fulfilled at all by the end of it. I was like, I did actually consider dropping it at like episode like 3 because I'm
You
like
should have.
because I'm like I can't see this really doing anything meaningful.
You're
and
right.
and it didn't. So I'm just like
I was right.
But I always like to give somebody another shot. Like K was bad.
Of all shows, that show to give it a shot. Wait, their track record?
Because we haven't had anything since K.
That's-
So I'm like-
good. Now we know not to watch that shit ever again.
Yeah.
K2.
K2.
You know, I never
They climb a
watched.
mountain.
I never watched the second season, but either way, don't waste your time. The show sucks. There was actually no reason for a lot of shit they did in there. I mean, and the characters. I mean, the girl the entire time, like she gains a little bit of personality later, but for the most part, she's kind of like that doll face, like never really say anything. You ask her a question, she's just kind of like.
Pretty woman, I see.
She's a
believe
Dondary,
that.
if you will.
So, what'd you give a grade to?
Like a D minus.
Sounds about right. Okay.
Fucking shitty.
All right, let's. Yeah, of course it's not going to do it for me. Yeah, fuck it. Next up, I just want to touch on Idol Jihen, which is Idol Incidents. I watched one episode. It's about. I wanted to watch more of this, but I decided to do some cutting, and it's about like idols that are going to be elected into like,
I watched
government
episodes of
positions.
this. I watched episodes of this. I lost the thread so quickly.
And yeah,
You're like
so-
a conspiracy. Government's like, fuck those idols. We gotta fucking make sure we can't get them in the fucking cabinet. And I don't know what happened for that.
Yeah, and they're like these idols are doing like promotional events and like concerts and stuff to
Yeah.
like boost their popularity, so they'll be elected into governmental positions.
Right.
Which, to be fair, I think is how we got Trump.
Yes.
But
I'm the same general concept.
yeah. So I mean,
We gotta drain the other swamps.
I thought it was stupid and kind of funny, and there are 3 shows this season I would have normally kept watching under normal circumstances, but this is one of the ones that immediately did not make the cut.
You're learning now. Good.
Well, just for this year. I'll get back to it. Actually, just for this like season. Next season, I'll go hard again. Okay. And then real quick... Actually, this isn't real quick. Alright, so next up, for reals, we have Kobayashi-san no Maidragon.
Oh, right.
That just fucking dominated a lot of anime talk
This was such a meme fucking show.
for whatever reason.
This show just
I'm sure it was
generated-
fine,
It was a fun show. I
but
really
like
enjoyed
fuck
it.
people though.
So basically, you have this average, well, not average. She's like a, I would put her in her like 30s maybe, lady who's a programmer, works long hours, and one night she gets really, really drunk and saves a dragon from dying by pulling a sword out of it.
Great.
That it otherwise, I guess, somehow could not get out of it because dragons don't have long arms and can't reach their back. And no, what was it? Actually, no. They kind of explained it. Like the sword would react to like the evil in people, so you couldn't touch it if you had like any evil in you. But she was just like this normal like drunk programming chick, so she had like no evil, yada yada yada, so she could pull the sword out. Regard, doesn't matter. Not important. She saved the dragon's life, and so she's like, "Hey, I'm gonna become your maid now," and so she's a maid dragon. And it's just like essentially a slice of life comedy about her and other dragons that come along the way, living with Kobayashi and being her maid.
I liked the one part that I saw where they asked the maid dragon how big her tits were, and she said D for dragon.
Yeah.
That was funny. The rest, I do not care. There's a lolly dragon. There's a big tit dragon. Everything sucks. Anime sucks. It's all a mistake.
The lolly dragon is Kana, and she is the meme generator of the show.
Everything
Yeah,
sucks.
the one
anime was
all
mistake. There's
all
all
the
sucks.
bad-
Yeah,
The one that eats everything?
There was an episode where, and she had never displayed this behavior before, where she's on the beach and she's just watching a crab walk in front of her, and she just goes,
To be fair, I saw that gift. That's funny.
And I was,
That's
I was
funny.
like, what the fuck? And then the memes exploded. And I was like, that's a great wow. And then she actually does do it later where she's like going to catch a bug. And then she
And
goes,
she just fucking eats it. Again, that's funny. But people suck though. So no.
Those were the funniest parts of that show, I think, though.
They're good. Like she's great. Like everything revolving around Khan.
There was a fucking thing with her being the Titans in the fucking in some kind of meme I saw.
Oh,
Everything sucks.
that was custom.
Everything sucks.
Like her little interactions with like her friend at school who literally blew up in lesbian rage every time she touched her. Like when they played Twister. This show brought about so many like FBI raid like pedophile memes. Like there was a little like short like 15-second YouTube video of this guy like watching them do on the Twister scene and then like zooms out slowly and then like it looks. Did I link this to you guys?
No.
Where he like looks down and like he has a boner. Is like this guy like in his underwear or whatever, and he's like, "Gotta fucking open up!" There's FBI at the door. It was.
It seems like a really
awkward,
shallow
but
show that had good moments that people fucking latched on to because people
It
suck.
was fun. Like, I mean, it was shallow. It was fun.
It was
but
Kyoto animation, wasn't it?
it was good. Really good animation. But there was Quetzalcoatl, the famous lore dragon, and she was the big-titted one with the crazy eyes. Like they took like heterochromatia, and just like went to
And
went
the
to
fucking
town
and
with it.
then thigh highs and the short shorts. Yeah.
Yeah, her purpose in the show was really like kind of pointless. Like she was just like, I forget what reason she was like attached to this little boy, and so she constantly just harassed him by like giving him her food.
That's illegal.
And then there was the water dragon from the heaven side. There was like this whole like heaven versus conflict like going on with the dragons. It didn't really matter all that much. And then but she was like things. But one of my favorite scenes is when Kana and Toru, the main chick, they go to like they bring Kobayashi to like some field just to hang out and relax. Like we're gonna play, and Kobayashi's like, okay, I'm just gonna take a nap. And they start fucking doing like DBZ, like Hadokens at each other and shit, like fucking battle scene.
And then she goes, "What?"
And Kobayashi's like, "What the fuck are you? No, what the god? No!"
Yeah, and she almost like dies.
Yeah, and they're like, "Oh, we're just playing." Like they're not playing. You're fucking killing each other. I'm like, "Oh no, that's nothing." Like if we were gonna try to go all out, and then she's like, "Well, just try and play more like at my level. Like do it like I would do." And so they just like walking around like bad backs. Like, oh, my back hurts. And they're like, "This isn't fun, Kobayashi."
Yeah,
But
It has moments. It
it has
seems like,
moments. It's a fun show.
though it seems like overrated as well because the internet.
There's
So
I mean, memes are memes.
Yeah.
But there are definitely people who like the show a lot more than I did. But I still enjoyed it a lot. I think they could have done more with the characters' backgrounds. But whatever. I'll give it a
Solid B.
how much I like this show.
It's not the
I probably give B plus.
I give it an I for internet sucks.
I mean, it's not the best Kyoto show by any means.
No, but it's not the worst by any means.
Oh no.
All right. Next up, Kono Subarashii Sekai ni Shukufuku.
You guys fucking like that show so much more than me.
Well,
I like the first season a lot more than
the
you.
first season was really good. This one was
Maybe you guys forgot you got your fill in the first season and you realized, oh, I don't want any more of this show.
Oh no, I remember what I liked about the first season. This season just didn't do it. Watching them work up from like absolute poverty in the first season was really funny, and I thought a lot of the jokes were more spot on. This season decided to do more like arcs, like instead of like episodic, they decided to be more arc about it. So they had like more than one episode devoted to like whatever is going on at the current time.
yeah,
And like which is fine, but I think they had a hard time making like running jokes work because I don't think running gag jokes work. I think that if you're gonna do a joke, make it sweet, make it happen once or twice, and then just like leave it alone. But it's like this season decided to do running gag jokes a little too much. That's just how I saw it.
Well, they turned the whole purification thing almost into like a main like thing throughout the entire goddamn show.
Yeah, I still liked it though. I enjoyed it. They are in their mansion, but they were like accused of something. Doesn't really matter. And then they go and they fight the mask face thing demon. They're still working.
Lich.
They're still working on their shit. They're still working on their goal. But personally, I thought the funniest thing in this entire season was when they went to the religious town and they just everyone in the town was trying to get them to convert their religion by saying I'm getting molested by this guy. He'll stop molesting me if you convert to our religion, because then God will smite him for molesting me.
Well, they were like purposely like trying to make things like look like they staged like a lot of this shit just to try and get people. That was hilarious.
I mean, it's sometimes that's how religion truly is with believers, and people are trying to convert you, and it's like scary.
I giggled a bit when they went into the dungeon and they got attacked by all the skeletons.
Oh yeah.
And the guy goes, "Wait a second. There must be a reason why all these skeletons are coming after us. You're an archpriest." And then he's like, he uses like thief skill to like hide.
Yeah.
Like
no, I mean, fucking Kazuma, he's still the best. Like he's still the best part of that show. It's just like
because like what's her name? Aqua, God, trashed her. She's like always saying like, "Oh, everyone, like look at me, I'm so awesome. You should all like worship me." And then when it comes to like actually trying to do real shit, and she can't do anything, so then he just like she goes, "You're kind of useless," and then she like starts apologizing and shit. I'm like, oh my god, like I still think what's her name, Lalatina is the best.
She is, but she didn't have much screen time in this because she was out being like set up for marriage or something. I don't fucking know. She was gone for like good 4 episodes. I chuckled every time. Well, not every time, but like the 2 times that Aqua was like casting spells, but she would sneak a Nature's Beauty in between just for posterity's sake.
Yeah. Just
turn undead. Nature's Beauty, turn undead. But yeah, it was fun. I think I scored it lower than I definitely scored lower than the first season. Give it about I'd say like B-.
That's about. I think I scored it a point or 2 less than the first season. First season was fantastic.
It was really good.
You can also tell they blew all the animation budget in that last episode.
Yeah. Boy, this season was drawn on the tissue paper.
Yeah. But boy, it'd be really awesome if they animated that last episode, like all of them like that.
Yeah.
They won't.
Mike, how far did you get?
Like episode 3, and I'm like, yep, so I'm not a big fan of this show like you guys are, so I'm out.
Alright, let's move on here. What comes after K? It's more K. We have...
I want any more K!
Kuzu no Honkai.
Okay, I want that kind of K. Alright.
The best show season. Easy.
This is the best show of the season. So the premise is here that the main girl likes this older guy that she's known for
like
a long time.
like a family friend. Yeah.
Well, someone who like was always there for her after she lost. I think she lost her dad, right? Or actually both her parents, was it? I forget. She lost someone.
Parents are not a big thing in this.
Yeah, and he was kind of like always there for her as like a friend, older brother / friend role model, I think. And then there's a guy main character who pretty much is in love with like his tutor,
who's not a teacher at the school.
Who's now also a teacher. They're both the guy and the older guy and the older girl are both teachers at their respective schools. And so the main girl and guy, Hanabi and Mugi, are essentially they feel like they don't have a chance kind of with these older guys because like of the situations they're in, and so they kind of use each other in like, well, it started out not so sexual, but like a platonic way to like
as a coping mechanism.
And like pretend like each other is the person they like.
Right.
But then things definitely spiral out of control for everyone. A lot of characters get involved really well.
First off, episode 1, they fucking got right to it. They fuck
did.
around too much, which you don't hear that very often in anime. Mainly since like school days about it. It not even did that set though, really. They got to the intimacy portion of it pretty quick because they just kind of shifted through days.
Yeah.
Which is refreshing. It's just really well done. It's really well done. It's just like it's very mature in a way you don't see most anime romantic dramas are.
This was placed in the Noitamina. It's like animation backwards block that they do in Japan, which always holds their more adult shows. Like they had when they created it, like they had Psycho-Pass season 2 in it. They had something. The show I liked a lot. My favorite show, like 2 years ago, the mystery one with
Perfect Insider.
Yeah, Perfect Insider.
Yeah,
was part of that block. So
it's hard to discuss the show without discussing what happens in the show. That's why I just do this here.
Yeah, I mean, but the thing is, do I want to go deep?
I kind of do.
I kind of well.
Like
this I want to talk about how the characters. Well, okay.
This is a show worth dissecting. Of any show this season.
Yeah. So. Okay. Well, where do you want to start?
I don't want to start with a teacher. That's just start showstopper there. I guess you have to with Mugi being interested in the teacher, and how she realizes that Mugi's interested in her. Pretty early.
When it comes to the teacher, this show does a really good job of exceeding your expectations. So you see the teacher and the older brother guy, and you think, okay, these people are just catalysts to this plot.
Right.
But then, well, I guess what we're going to talk about is how the teacher becomes such a significant player and how her character develops.
And how her
almost better than everyone else.
And how her character affects the development of
everyone else.
Of the girls.
Well, the other three people. The main girl? Hanabi, yeah.
Like she affects how Hanabi operates for a while. Because Hanabi tries to one-up her, but she knows that's not her nature.
I only remember the two main characters' names. I remember...
And then we have the side character of the little fucking Shoujo girl who's in the movie, who loves Mugi.
Little princess girl, yeah. I mean, they have the straight relationship there, and then they have the lesbian relationship because Echan. Well, she called her Echan. I forget what why she called her that. Or I forget what it was, like Eiko or something like that. But she likes Hanabi romantically as a lesbian. And so they have those two kind of dynamics going on the side as well. So this is a love.
It's dodecahedron.
Well, okay. There's no connections there. So we have a line and then another line, but these two don't connect. So it's like love Tetris block.
Love snowflake.
Love snowflake.
It's they able to balance all these relationships in a really deft way. In what, 12 episodes?
Yeah,
which is incredible.
There was one that I thought was pointless.
You mean the older guy?
No. A whole plot point that they could have left out entirely.
You mean the Ashan and the cousin?
Yes.
Yeah, that's.
They could have left that out entirely, and we would not have missed.
No point in that being there at all. Except to try to goad the whole. It's just to progress the elimination of the Echan Hanabi relationship, basically.
Yeah, which I mean. I get it, but I don't think they needed to take a whole episode to do it.
Well, they were going to use the whole episode already to flesh out that relationship, so I think they decided to add another element to it, because it's like, well, we're going to use this whole episode anyways, so you might as well do it. You're right, the cousin was pointless, but if you're going to have them together already, might as well. But he was kind of egging her on to, like, do something.
Right. To be fair, and he was right, too.
Yeah.
And the thing was, the big thing is Hanabi wants to get intimate with the older brother. I'm saying brother. I hate to say that, but brother. He called it brother. Called him brother. Even though we don't believe they're related by blood.
But they're not, absolutely. Yeah. It was a family friend that eventually took her.
Just bro sees her as a little sister. That's not happened. And she takes, in essence, tries to take that such frustration out on Mugi, but she can't go all the way with it. There's a mental block there.
Except he's actually done it before, though.
Yeah, she's a virgin. He is not a virgin because he messed with a girl in his school who kind of messed with him.
Yeah.
And that's a whole thing that they kind of go into. That's kind of really cool, and how he grows his presence.
I actually kind of wish they would have touched on that a little bit more.
I do too.
That girl that he used to be with, that was actually the same age as him.
Sacrificed one episode of the teacher to get one more episode into her.
Yeah, I think that would have.
Because their arc was like what, 4 episodes between the movie and the teacher?
It's the
long. 3. Yeah.
It's a little long.
It was like 3 and like a little bit of 1, but
because it only took from the time when they said, "Okay, we're going to go confess to our older counterparts and then meet at the park at midnight." From that point on was the teacher's arc, and I think it was only like 2.5, 3 episodes.
But it's really super polarizing though if you actually try to think of this whole show. And that Hanabi is actually not the main character. Like, if you actually look at it as...
Right, the main character shifts quite a bit.
I think there's multiple main characters, but it's fantastic in his own way to be able to do that.
The way I see, well,
the show has, first off, they have multiple main character caliber characters, which is rare in anime to have that. Of a character who multiple characters can carry a show out by themselves. But had the show been just about the teacher, been about Mugi, even been about the little girl, the little princess girl, you could have carried that show, which is rare in anime.
Yeah.
The big thing was
The only character in the entire show who didn't really have any development at all
was the older brother. Like, I understand why he's there, but fuck him.
He was the catalyst.
I'll get to him in a minute.
I think he was kind of
I'll get to him. He's the dumbass.
plot device.
But
He sucks.
the big thing is that when Mugi and Hanabi are one at a diner at like a Denny's, or sorry, like a Henny's, Frenny's,
Henny's, Jenny's, Lenny's, Genny's.
They see the teacher and like her little boy toy there, and she confronts her regarding, hey, what is that your boyfriend? And she's like, no. But that kind of leads the teacher into understanding that Hanabi has more play in this than she realized.
And that was really early on in the series.
Like episode 2.
Because that was
3.
like...
Yeah.
She had noticed that older bro liked this teacher. And, you know, she thought the teacher was, like, just this perfect woman. And then she sees, like, hold on. And then she comes to school the next day, same clothes, like,
right.
you know,
Yeah.
staying over. Like,
And I think the teacher wouldn't have gone for the brother at all because she didn't find him interesting until she realized that Hanabi liked him.
Right.
And they went and she asked him out. Did she ask him out to drink or he asked her out to drink?
He asked her out first. But she knew he liked her.
Yeah.
But she didn't really care until she found out that Hanabi liked him because she likes that she likes getting that jealousy out of all the girls. That was like her one of her big things.
Yeah.
Like, her turn on was like take away things that other girls wanted.
And the reason that was because when she was in middle school, there was this guy who her friend liked, but the guy liked her instead, and the friend just kind of just rolled over and like said it was fine that the guy liked her, and she made a pact that I am never gonna feel that way a girl feels ever. That I feel like I'm taken advantage of, and feel like I am like very weak and basically rolling over basically. But the big thing and what the show became like a top 3, top 2 romantic drama of all time in a way was when they went out drinking and the teacher slipped and the guy caught her and like he's like sorry like what's it is that her first name the main girl
Hanabi. Well,
like he called Akane Hanabi or yeah. Remember, because they were drunk, the teacher slipped, and the guy caught her, and he called her by Hanabi's name. You remember that?
Well, okay, but
that's
the main character. Not. I think the teacher was Akane, right?
The teacher was Akane, right?
Right.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, but him doing that made Akane more interested in fucking with the brother, to fuck with Hanabi.
Yeah.
That was a catalyst there. And then the next day, in a fucking best moment of the season moment, the teacher walked by Hanabi and said, "Me and him had sex," and kept walking, which is fucking outstanding.
Yeah.
Incredible moment for the anime. And then that was the domino effect of I think what Echan was in there at that point because Hanabi was coping with that.
And the princess girl, the little girl, was like already telling Hanabi like, "Hey, like I actually like Mugi. You're just using him."
Right.
And she's
As
like,
an outlet.
that made that kind of because eventually Hanabi was like, "Yeah," like that was like the very beginning. But as time went on, she was questioning whether or not she truly liked Mugi or not.
Or was he just convenient to have
and
her?
having the princess girl there, what the fuck her name was, that kind of like stirred that like thought process.
Coco? No, not
Noriko.
Noriko. Yes.
Noriko?
Noriko was her name.
I'll take your word for it. I'm not gonna check that
She
shit.
wanted to be called something else because she thought she was clever with like the part of the kanji for her first name and then part of the kanji
Yeah, I
for
remember
her.
she talked about that.
Yeah,
she is a very, very delusional
So
girl.
that led to, in essence, Echan raping Hanabi.
I mean,
Like
You
it
know,
wasn't
Hanabi never
consensual.
said no,
it wasn't
maybe.
consensual.
she never said no.
She didn't say yes. So we kind of got to go back to the.
But you know,
It was,
she never said no.
essentially, it was rape, basically.
So can we talk?
But if lesbians rape, it's not rape.
I mean,
Oh, shut
yeah. So can we talk about how like I feel like in the end like Mui lost like the least.
He did lose the least.
Like everybody else got fucked.
He did lose the least.
Everybody else got fucked.
Like
He was actually- but
they made the pact at one point that we're gonna ask our people out, and whatever happens, we'll come back and figure it out. But him and Akane finally got in a relationship.
Well, they got to do it a couple times.
Sexual relationship. So he got more out of it than Akane got out of than Hanabi got out of the main brother.
She got 0,
which accentuates how the main brother sucks so much. And
they ended up getting married.
Some names real quick.
They ended up getting married at the end, which I thought was.
I'll get to that.
God, that was
the whole sexual relationship between Mugi and Akane was very interesting in regards that it accentuated Akane's character, which was she will sleep with whoever she feels like it.
Yeah.
And she's only interested in men for certain reasons.
Okay.
Jesus.
Mugi, Hanabi, Sanai was the red-haired girl. I don't know why. Ebato was her last name, so I guess that's Echan.
Yeah.
You're right, Noriko. I don't know what she liked being called, though.
Mocha.
Yes.
That's the one.
And I only remember that because of that shitty vampire show years ago.
They used for older brother. They would always call him like Kanai Sensei, but his first name's Narumi, so let's just call him Kanai. And then,
I'll call him bro.
And then Akane, of course. So yeah.
What a bitch.
They took a long time to delve into Kane's character, and I kind of like that. But at the same point, you see, look, she was a very manipulative, on occasion evil person. For no rhyme or reason otherwise than she was scared to get hurt emotionally. Not really any trauma, from what I could tell. Just like, she's scared to get emotionally, and therefore she's just going to overprotect herself and become the person that traumatizes other people. The girl, she gets a kick out of it. In essence, she's a villain of that show. Because she fucked with she fucked with Hanabi just for giggles.
It's like that's like the beauty of her character. Though.
Yeah,
so
for
like,
sure. No, I'm not saying it's a bad thing.
Yeah, no, we'll just beyond that. It's like, she gets the kick out of it because she's essentially like tricked herself into thinking that that's the way she wants to be because she doesn't want to get hurt, like she's noticed. Like she got so scarred from that it literally changed how she perceived herself.
Right.
And being with a guy as pure and straightforward as Kanai Sensei was what kind of knocked her back into being an actual human being.
The big thing was
and for him to be that big of a dumbass.
Well, the big thing was he found out her nature and he was cool with it. But I'll get to that in a moment. The thing I'll touch on is that after that thing with Akane, Hanabi tried to one-up Akane, but that's not Hanabi's nature.
Right.
And she kind of messing with like the older guy that Akane was with, but she realized that I can't.
Hanabi had never been scarred to the point where she was willing to
do it all,
to commit and just trick herself into thinking this is the way it's got to be,
into being that,
and to thinking that she'll like that. That's who she is.
Like that's Akane's nature. That's what she enjoys.
Right.
She enjoys. I think in her words, paraphrasing, she enjoys being a slut. That's just what she likes.
Yes.
That's how she operates. Hanabi's not that way, and Hanabi learned eventually that she can't do that. I did like how they have the children version of themselves be their kind of like their inner conscience, kind of spur them on in that regard. That was really, really cool. But yeah, like in essence, I mean, Akane kind of had a redemption, but she's still an evil person. No good person does that shit for that reason. Went out of way to get Akane, not get the sensei, not because she liked him, but because she knew she didn't fuck with Hanabi emotionally.
I mean, I think it's a little too black and white to call something like that a good or bad person. Like,
it's not good. That's for damn sure.
You don't call. I don't want to say she's a bad person.
Well, I mean, I think you go by
it's like
intent.
She needed it.
But some of my time, her intent was to hurt. Her intent was to hurt.
Her intent, yes. Okay. Yeah, it's complicated.
It goes by intent, and her intent was to hurt Hanabi emotionally for whatever reason, for really no particular reason. Like she didn't cross Akane any particular reason. It was just because she was bored and she thought it was entertaining.
I guess she became a bad person for herself, but I'm not saying she wasn't born a bad person.
Well, there's a nature nurture argument.
Oh, it's definitely 100% nurture.
Yeah. But they really delve into Akane's character for I think too long. Like we get it. She don't want to be hurt. She manipulates people. But it took that motherfucking dumbass where she admitted, yeah, I'm a slut. I'm gonna fuck with other guys because fuck you. I don't give a shit later. He's like, that's fine. I don't care because he's desperate. He'd never had a girl touch him before. That's why. She was never ever touch him. That's why he's fucking enamored with her.
I mean, he was enamored with her
But
a great degree.
but then she touched him, so he was extra enamored with her because another girl had never done that before.
The fact that she was even talking to him was probably he was just like, I have nothing to lose. Let's just.
I suppose so. And then they spend the night, and he proposes to her in the most fucking like nondescript fashion.
Yeah.
And she agrees to it because she, I guess, didn't expect there to be a guy to stand with her, even though she's a horrible person and she has really self-destructive tendencies because they are self-destructive. And that was a nice arc that could have been a little quicker, but also that guy's a fucking idiot. He's an actual part of me. I know why he's there, but he could have been better. He could have been a better character and been more depth and had more reason what he did. But he's just an idiotic person, an idiotic, desperate, naive person.
I don't know how. I mean, if the show was like 24 episodes,
maybe they could have done it,
and
I think they could have gotten away with it too.
Because
I talked to Manisa. I took Manisa. The manga's still going.
Oh, okay.
So
I was actually just about to ask how or the state of the manga.
yeah, she said it's still going. So they could have done it. But
well, I mean, the studio Lerche, which does not make bad anime.
Did the Lords gonna make Bleach?
No, they weren't around when Bleach was out.
Oh, who made Bleach?
Puro.
Puro, that's something I know.
So, I mean, Assassination Classroom,
Excellent.
Carnival Phantasm was great.
Whatever. Sure. Dumb.
Oh my god.
All the Danganronpas.
Good writing in those.
Oopsies. Yeah. And then, well, Fate Prototype. Fate Prototype wasn't even a fucking anime.
It was good though.
Okay, that was all Assassination Classroom. Oh, they made Mahoiku, the racing project. The I like show that show.
It was okay.
Boy, never mind. They made a bad show. Magic Boy. They made Magic Boy. Monster Musume.
Monster Musume is fine.
Wait, that wasn't JC stuff?
It was Lerche.
What?
And then Rumble-Katan, good
Excellent.
show.
Yeah.
Hamatora?
Hamatora is fine.
And that's they haven't been around a while, so that's all. Or sorry, no. Scum's Wish, and yeah, that's it.
So after basically Akane and the dude get together, the bro get together, like Mugi and I don't think we need to touch on Mocha's thing. That's not that important. It's like a side story basically.
I mean, Mocha was there to
gives more depth to Mugi's character basically.
Yeah, but not only that, it was there to question, mainly for like Hanabi to question her relationship with Mugi, like what it really was and what it really meant to her, and it kind of helped forge their decision at the end, which thank the Lord. So spoiler, I mean whatever. All spoilers.
I mean they didn't talk for a while, Mugi and Hanabi, and then they kind of talked. Yeah. And they made the decision to not get together. Which is an incredible decision.
Because I would not have given that show a 10 if they had gotten together.
It was an incredibly bittersweet decision that is very...
God damn it.
What was this?
The minute you walk away.
Like, it was... Like, that shit, that's real shit.
Yeah.
There's sometimes when you're with a person... and you think it's gonna last for a while, and it doesn't last. You understand why it doesn't last, or there's a guy like you don't like them, they don't like you back. Like that's some real shit. Sometimes it doesn't last that long. Sometimes you gotta go find someone else.
I mean, that's
it's
just
very mature, down to earth ending that you don't see in anime in any genre very often.
I mean, the whole premise of the show is completely believable in real life. Like,
for sure,
it could be a real thing.
I'm sure all of us has had aspects of that in some fashion.
I mean, the Kanai being that 100% pure nice guy is probably the most far-fetched part of the whole show.
He's the one thing holding this show back from like absolute greatness. I think if he's a good character, this show would be pretty much unassailable. Because I can't think of many. I can only think of one show me better than that. But okay, I'll get to that point. So, I think in many ways, as a romantic drama, it's better than School Days. Because it's
a thought-out storyline and a well-written story with character development, absolutely.
Better. I think better overall. Better overall characters, better writing, better lighter hand, a little more. There's more depth to it. It still feels real, but it's not as powerful as School Days is.
Right.
School Days is a force of nature.
School Days is attacking it from a different angle.
Right.
School Days is just like raw dogging itself
It's
into
like-
the genre.
like
the show's trying to
School Days
earn its way there.
School Days is a literal force of nature. Like you cannot explain away its power. It's a powerful anime.
Mm-hmm.
Though I think Kuzu no Honkai is a better overall romantic drama.
It's a much more well crafted show.
Is a more crafted show.
And I'm sure whoever the writer is had to have personal experiences
Had
relating
to.
to this in order to write something like that.
It's so well done, and it makes it look so easy. And had Bro been a better character, this show would be like the easiest best romantic drama of all time, retro drama of all time, like without question. But that's the main thing holding it back. I mean, everything can be perfect. So,
right. Well, let's wrap it up.
I did not give it a 10 on Mal, but in regards to these ratings, I will grade up to an A+.
I mean, I'd give it an A+. What was... I mean, no show's perfect. What could have done... I mean, you're saying Kanai being better would have made it unassailable, but I'm sure there are 10s you have that you've rated that are not better than what the show would have been had that been the case, and yet you still don't give the show a 10. So what would have had to do short of that to earn that 10?
I literally could not get past how useless as a character the main brother was. I just like the reasons he did the things he did. Apart from, this is the first girl who's ever touched me in my entire life, so I can't let her go because there's no other girl ever again. There's no reason to his things. Like, why the hell would he put up with a woman who doesn't love herself, doesn't respect herself, who is self-destructive, who is manipulative and evil, and ask her to marry him?
I mean, the only two things I could possibly think of are, well, I mean,
desperation.
A, she's so pretty, fuck it.
Desperation, yes.
Desperation, and A, she's so pretty, fuck it. Or B, he's just like, he has that feeling that somewhere deep down she's a real person. She's a real good person.
I wish the show would have tilted the head one way or the other.
I think that's the way that they wanted to imply that he saw like who she really could be, like pre-Scarface, but whatever. Let's move on. Very good show, absolutely. Everyone should probably be watching it.
Matt, what's your grade?
Probably a solid 8. I didn't give it a 10. I think I gave it a 9 though.
Okay.
Still the easiest best show season though.
Next up we have Little Witch Academia, the TV series.
I actually didn't finish it. I just fell off it.
Well,
it's good though.
It's still going.
It's good.
24.
It'll be there. It'll be a movie at some point. Again.
I'm quite disappointed with how this turned out.
I didn't get that deep into it, but listen. Let me turn the TV off.
Oh, who won?
Well, going to burn in at some point.
Is the game over?
It's not plasma.
The game's off, but I'm okay with that.
Okay, so I mean, we had the first like 30-minute OVA, quote unquote movie thing that we had the first OVA movie thing for Little Witch, and that was like the teaser thing, like this concept anime they had,
right?
But they were never getting the funding for it, and then they made a movie which was a good hour or something long. I still don't know if it was supposed to be a sequel or just like it doesn't matter the timeline kind of thing. Like here's just more of it, and now they pretty much started the story from the beginning. So essentially, none of that happened. So fresh start.
Right. Those
two things happened. And we're just gonna do a full story.
The closest thing we have to Harry Potter anime.
Yeah,
we're probably gonna get for a long time.
And that's cool. And I like the idea. And I like the show. Like, I like everything about the show. The problem is I don't like what they're doing, which is a whole lot of nothing.
A lot of filler.
They have this like plot or loose description of a plot, and then they just do like fucking episodic hijinks, and I'm like, why bother? Like, who asked for this?
A lot of people asked for that.
Like,
a lot of people asked for that.
Like, fuck. I feel like whoever writes this show likes Harry Potter. Like, I feel like that has to be true.
I feel it in that.
And I feel like they could have taken ideas from Harry Potter to make it more compelling of a show, have a better plot, better just everything. Because, like, why? Why should I tell anyone to watch this show right now? No, there's no reason.
It's fun. There's these season progression with the characters and how the main characters fish out of water in the magical world and how they're going to use that. So that's kind of interesting in one way, and how
but it just
her power
keeps
grows.
going. There's no milestones for her.
That's the thing, though. That's the thing. It hadn't hit the overarching plot part of this fucking thing yet. It's well done for what it does, but it doesn't have a point to it.
They just don't.
It's irritating if you don't think about it too much.
They don't get anywhere.
Yeah.
The problem is, I don't really care for like the little stupid hijinks they're doing. They're not even that entertaining. I don't know. Like, I don't know. Anyways,
I mean, it's still one of Trigger's better shows. Is Trigger doing this?
It is, but I mean,
the Trigger's so fucking up and down though. It's hard to really say.
I mean,
because like the pinnacle is what, Pansucking, and what's the floor like fucking?
Well, no, the pinnacle is Kill la Kill.
I think Pansucking's better than Kill la Kill. What's that? Love Kill la Kill.
They have a lot of lows though. I mean, they did fucking what was that?
Kirsniver, man.
Yeah, that's
Kirsniver. They did Ninja Slayer.
I don't really count their shorts all that much because like if you're gonna make a short, it's just a short.
They did the
really bad everyday magical.
That's the middle.
Oh.
That's the mediocre.
Actually, I think that's low.
No, I think it's a low. I think
what was worse than that?
Kirsniver. Kirsniver's the worst, and then in the middle is the
if
magical.
If I had to watch one over the other, I would watch Kirsniver.
No, I've watched that magical.
That magical thing was
magical what?
Magical
like
school,
everyday life
school.
with magical powers or whatever.
I don't watch
that show.
Kirsniver hurts me, which is kind of funny.
I got angry watching magical.
I think you're watching Kirsniver. I didn't get angry watching that show.
Because by episode 7...
Kirsniver, I just got disappointed. I didn't get angry.
No, Kirsniver kind of wastes your time. Episode 7, I was like, why am I watching this?
Yeah, I mean, Kirsniver is not good.
But Kirsniver is like, you see, like, this show could be so much better. They just do this fucking, god damn it. This is right there. God damn it. Yeah.
Anyways. Okay, I guess I could say, I mean, this is a middle ground show.
It's better than both those shows, but it's not saying
but it's a middle ground show. But I mean, it's not Penny and Stocking, it's not Kill la Kill.
The anything few anime ever made are. So, you can't expect that all the time, I guess.
But, and again, it's not over. As it stands, I give the show like a C+.
Oh, so didn't Trigger do Gurren Lagann?
No. That was X Trigger Guy X.
Well, okay, well, Trigger. Let's say Trigger. Call it Trigger. Fuck it.
That was Trigger before they made it on the studio.
That's like saying Platinum did Okami, which they did before they were Clover. So, same thing.
Anyways, right now, I give it a C+.
B-.
Alright, let's go to... Oh, Matt's turn. Masamune-kun no Revenge.
I watched that too.
Yeah, but this is like Matt's like special show.
Well, don't go too deep now.
I read the manga for this
don't go too deep.
before it even came out, and it was amazing.
It's a fun show. Let's not get ahead of ourselves.
Look, okay, the show does not do the manga justice. I'm just going to tell you that right now. Honestly, if you're interested in this story, like how it actually plays out, you really should just go read it. Because when they only got 12 episodes, like, I knew they weren't going to finish this. Like, I knew they
Well,
would.
they were struggling when they got to the fucking last 4 anyway. Like, once the fat kid shows up, the show gets bad.
Well, no, that he's actually a part of the manga.
I get that.
Like,
he gets bad, though.
Like, he's actually a main, like, plot point. They just did it poorly.
No, the whole thing is that we're working up to the main guy. He wants to get revenge on... So the main guy has a complex where he used to be fat. And this girl... I think he used to like called him fat and like scarred him, so he spent the rest of his life like eating well and getting fit. So he's now super in good shape.
And everyone loves like all the girls at the school are like, that guy.
He could get like literally any girl in that school.
So now his entire goal is to get the girl to fall in love with him and then dump her to get revenge. That's his entire goal. And the progression is that he wants to do this, but he kind of starts to get feelings for her as he does this.
So Mike, is he a bad person?
No, he's not. He's misguided, but he's not a bad person.
You want to know who there is actually only really like one like actual bad person in this whole thing,
and that's not in the animation. We can't talk about that.
because the guy is
Right. We can't talk about that.
He's completely like
He's been misled, but that's on the anime. They won't go into that. Matt told me that off air. There's a thing that happens that you think the whole fat kid thing is one way, but it's actually another way. But they don't go into the anime. Apparently, they go into the manga.
Yeah, they don't.
Well, first off, let me just say the anime had one of those shitty endings that literally just ends like nothing's resolved. Like it's as if the next episode should be coming.
Right.
Now if they do a season 2, they could redeem this.
It's a Nisekoi type thing.
Well, did the show just follow the manga up to a certain point and stop, or did they actually rewrite the show?
No, everything that happened up until that last episode happened in the manga.
Oh, okay.
And then there's a whole new like.
But they
take a shitty part to top of that.
So I'm hoping they
But
actually.
this character you're talking about, they took out of the first season, or he doesn't show up till later.
No. So the other fat dude, like he shows up like about on point
And
like,
looks very like the other guy who was fat.
They actually do follow the manga pretty closely. They skipped out on a couple of things, but they're not important. You're not missing anything. But all the shit, that whole play thing that happened, like the whole him being sick, like that actually all does happen. So basically, it's like you were reading the manga, and then like you get to where episode 12 ends, and then the pages just kind of go.
Now the big problem of this show is that there is a love triangle that happens near the back end of the show. Like it's actually pretty intense, and he basically says, "I'm choosing the main girl," and he says it in front of her.
Yeah.
Then they put it on hold for 5 episodes for this other bullshit, and never go back to it ever again.
By the way,
it's a bunch of, like what the fuck?
By the way,
like I was so invested in the relationship, and there's like, who cares? This guy? No, fuck that guy. These people here. Tell me about them. No, fuck them. This thing. Fuck you guys. Fuck this anime. So.
That girl, what was her name? She's my waifu choice for the show.
The one that doesn't wear any underwear.
Yeah, and so I was
Mari? Oh my god!
I was like, Caesar-chan win, Caesar-chan win, and I was like, she
is cool
because I was like, you just want to fuck over the main chick, like you don't like her. Please just, if you're gonna end this show on like a failure note, like if you're just gonna end the show like, well, I failed my goal, but I'm gonna go out with the best choice anyways. That would have been. Good ending, good show. We're done.
Okay, well,
and the thing is, the funny thing is, he struggles with his desire to get revenge with his actually burgeoning feelings for the girl.
Right,
it's a big
course. Because of fucking course.
It's still
when
good.
When you read the synopsis before you even see the first episode, so you read the synopsis and you're like, oh, he's gonna end up with her for real.
Though it is hilarious how like this guy asked the main girl out, and she just like has this whole fucking conference of like in one of the rooms, blasts out to the school grounds saying. Yeah, go fuck yourself, and then come with a dumb name for you and have like banner and everything. That's funny.
Because she's
also she eats a lot. She has like extreme metabolism for really no reason, just kind of to have.
It's a plot.
It has something to hold over her basically.
Because he's like, because he was like, okay, I need to eat less, and then he just like looks at her and just like, now how can you eat that?
There's a big thing of he held it over her head.
Well, because she knew. Well, because she knew that like if word got out, like people would kind of like view her differently.
That show was getting so good to the fact I stood up. I'm like, man, they just forgot all about the relationship stuff. That was so. Close.
They had to pace things differently, and I guess they really wanted to fit that in because like when you only have 12 episodes to go so far in the manga, like you have to change the pacing a bit. I'm kind of starting to see that now. Like I'm now understanding why. People who are into mostly reading manga and playing visual novels say the anime sucks because I kind of see that now with the more original content I'm getting into just a little bit, not a lot, but just a little bit. So I'm starting to see that a little bit, and I honestly think that if they do another season of it, like it could
be better, they could be redeemed.
If they actually continue exactly where they left off and just go right into the next plot point. That season would be amazing.
Maybe.
Really?
Because
Silverlink does do sequels. They're one of the few studios that you actually see sequels happen for.
And for that reason, I won't say what happens in the manga, just on the chance that they do another season.
I don't think it'll be time soon though. Because it'd be for like the next fucking 3 years or something. Knowing
it's made more.
So I probably could say and you'd forget.
The cocaine pile's running low.
That's true. They got to milk their cash cows.
But either way, I mean, if I hadn't read the manga, I mean, I'd probably give this like a C+.
So disappointed.
But because I know what actually happens.
So you've been fulfilled. I haven't been fulfilled though.
I
They end like Nisekoi, where there's a Romeo and Juliet fucking play, and shit happens, and he kisses her in the play. I think they kiss in the play in Nisekoi. But basically, it's...
I forgot there was a play in Nisekoi.
Yeah, but basically, they...
My whole memory of Nisekoi got erased when I found out the ending of the manga, and I was like, well, fuck all... I literally got
also I told you.
But fuck the show.
From the first episode of that show.
The manga ended?
Fuck the show. I made it a while ago.
Oh, well.
First girl.
But it's just like, nope, he didn't choose anybody. Though he chose her, but they just conveniently seem to forget that. And we go back to it. Because they want...
Who won in Nisekoi?
Worst girl. Main girl.
Chitoge.
What?
I told you that from so long.
God damn it!
Why? So watch the time. We're the peanuts. I know that's how it works.
To be fair, I knew that was most likely choice. I was hoping the show could fucking just... I was hoping the manga could just be right.
It's like Love Hina, so it was going to be the same way.
I just want to believe sometimes.
Okay.
But anyways, there was a line, I can't remember the exact line, near the end of this show, though, where Seizure-chan, she was like, something. He's like, can you do it? She's like, I didn't go to US and get my stomach gutted for nothing. And I was like, you're the best.
No, she's great. But C+.
Yeah, B-. This
is disappointing. It ended in a really...
Well, just pray for another season, and it'll...
Okay, let's go on. It's not that good.
If the thing is, if they do it...
It could be fine.
Exactly like they should, and follow the manga, then second season will be great.
I'd rather... This is a first thought, because second season's made me sad. I'd rather just, like, scrap this show from existence, give second season of Charlotte properly done. That show could be fucking incredible. Right?
Like,
just scrap episode 13 of Charlotte, just get episode 62 of Charlotte, and get it done right.
There are a lot of anime wishes I have. I don't think Charlotte quite makes it.
I think it's like top 10 for me.
Because it's like, this show's fun. Like, I didn't like the first 12 enough to make me need a 13
I watched
season.
Episode 13 enough to want an entire season of that.
You mean once?
Once, yes. That's all it took. Yeah,
I think my number one wish in anime right now...
Okay, actually, right?
Well, number one wish in heart... My number one wish in anime right now is for them to animate all the Haruhi novels. That's number one wish. My number two wish is for them to do what you said, retcon the part where they broke off on a Kamiya Kill and make another season of a Kamiya Kill and fulfill it with the manga. That's my number two wish. Okay. I haven't thought of anything past that.
Did you finish reading it?
I read a lot more.
He's on chapter 9 now, right? Are you talking about Kamiya Kill?
Yeah, I actually got further when I was on the plane. I was reading it on the plane to Alice.
I assumed after...
I got to they just got back to they're going back to the city after running away to like the secret hideout, the other secret hideout.
Okay.
And so
I assumed after 2 years you'd be on like chapter 9 or something.
I'm getting there. I think I'm volume 7 now.
I mean, Kamiya Kill's likely. I mean, they just ended the manga.
Yeah, I need to go find the rest. Anyways,
this is the pitfalls of when you adapt manga. So I just wish more studios would have the freedom, like Kamiya Kill, to end that shit properly in a convincing way. I like the ending of Kamiya Kill.
Kamiya Kill's ending was really good.
It was really like...
He's just mad that it wasn't the real one.
Right.
But
I'm glad they had something rather than...
not,
I don't know, man. Maybe more. So...
It's a problem that I like the ending a lot. And I don't know the ending of the manga. And that's not the problem. The problem is I love that show so much that I wish that instead of just rushing, like diverting and rushing off, they would have just animated the rest.
Like, Full Metal kind of did the same thing. I'm okay with both versions. Like, Full Metal, at a certain point, they said, you know what? We're just gonna go.
We're not getting this conversation.
Fucking sideways.
That's because they didn't have anything left.
What do you mean?
In the first Full Metal?
Yeah.
They
caught with the manga so quickly. They just had to like derail.
That's not the case with the Kamiya Kill though. The Kamiya Kill, there was plenty more to do. They just didn't have an ending yet, so they had to create their own ending.
There wasn't that much.
There was more.
I mean, maybe
a lot more.
Maybe for like 10 more episodes, not enough for another season.
I think they could have done also.
Yeah.
I think they could have done 12 episodes.
Because around the time the manga ended, they were like on chapter like 50, and
at the very least, continue like from wherever they deviated, like 18 or whatever. Continue to 24, just on the pace of the manga. Then stop for a year, and then just start season 2 when the ending's done. Like right now they could have just made 24 episodes season 2. and just finish it properly.
I mean, I know what you mean. I feel like Akame ga Kill wasn't printing quick enough for that, and there wasn't enough content in like the manga. Like Attack on Titan, you're right. I don't know why it took 4 years. I really don't. But so for that one, I could see that. But I don't think Akame ga Kill. It was 4 years.
2013. You're
Yeah,
right.
Hope we can watch it later. All right, let's finish up. So yeah, we gave it ratings for. Boy, that's gonna be. Sorry everyone for that rant on Akame ga Kill, but I have a lot of feelings for that show. Next up, I'm going to go through 3 shows really fast.
Okay.
So 3 shows.
What
real
letter
quick.
are we at?
M.
Jesus.
So the first one,
many back half.
the first one, I just want to say that it exists, is Minami Kamakura Koko Joshi Jitensabu, which is the 2nd season in a row with a fucking biking anime, because Japan loves biking. Because Yomushi fucking pedal, and we had the Long Riders from last season, and now we have this one, which is literally the exact same premise. She likes biking. Bikes, and bike club, and let's go biking, and I didn't watch more than one episode.
Yeah.
So it exists, everyone. We have more biking, cute girls doing cute things anyway, because why not? Next up, Rewrite Season 2.
Gross.
This covered the true ending, and boy, this is a fucking wonky story I'm not getting into. But this is not a good adaptation, and you should not watch this if you like Rewrite. The next one is Schoolgirl Strikers.
What is that about again?
So this is the one where I only watched one episode, but like they had to fight like these girls have these weapons. They fight like the random invaders or whatever, much like every other fucking anime of the exact same goddamn premise.
Right. Okay.
And the sad part is, this is probably the first of the 3 I dropped that I would want to pick up and continue watching.
Stop hurting yourself
because
so much.
I like the Magic Academy combat shows, no matter how shitty they are.
Think
absolutely
of how much
shitty.
time, if you just play more games, people do. You
I
can increase your quality of anime by playing more games.
I like more animes.
Fine.
So, but yeah, they battle like invading like fucking monsters, and I don't know, first episode, but it exists. So, all right, now let's get to a show we're going to actually talk about. All right, next up we have Seiren.
You're being into a fight here?
I don't want to. Like, the show's not worth getting into a fight over.
I do not like Amagami SS at all, but I really like Seiren, and I just feel like it's a better Amagami SS. And you think up out of my mind, think out of your mind. So whatever.
I want to pop quiz you to like.
Remember my knowledge of Amagami? It's been a while.
No.
Okay.
I wanted to pop quiz you, and somehow like make it like have you believe that I'm not cheating. So somewhere down the line, again, we're never going to do this because who the fuck cares? But this is just an idea I have.
Okay.
Somewhere down the line, when it's been long enough so that maybe you haven't remembered much, I was going to just give you pictures of the heroines and be like, tell me who each of them are.
In which show?
And then you... of Seiren.
Oh, they look the same.
And then you give me the pictures of Amagami because I can tell you exactly
let's see.
every girl of them.
Haruka Pro.
So for listeners, one listener, I don't know, anyone who's fucking listening, we had a long discussion about this show versus Amagami, and I do not want to get into it, because honestly, half the reason I was humoring you is because our sushi took fucking 45 minutes to get to my fucking table, and I was very angry, and I just...
Take it on me.
I was venting some steam. As much as I like Amagami, it's not a show I feel is worth is defending. Like, it's an inflated score type show, but I do believe it is much more well done than this show.
All I know for sure is that like I felt a disappointment and an anger watching Amagami that I did not have in Seiren. So automatically I feel it's better than Seiren.
So this show is omnibus format, much like Amagami, where
it looks very similar too.
Where you have each girl,
right?
So
and the king of that is Yusuke Nosora. So
I'm just not gonna have that conversation, but. Basically, every girl has like their own arc, and go to so since you brought it up, that Yusuke Nosora and Amagami, when they did each character's arc, they rewinded time. Right. They rewound time back to a certain point so that we knew it was different arcs. something in this show, and it kind of bugged me. It was like the first girl's done. We're going to the second girl. Is time rewound? Because
there was no central point they went back
because
to.
In the second girl, when they're like downstairs like playing games like underneath the stairwell, whatever,
right.
and then the first girl comes down the stairs. She's like, "Hey, what's up, guys? Hey, oh, and they're like, she's all like buddy with the main character. I'm like, so it's like of the first arc,
a different branch. The storyline happened, I guess.
But why would she be all buddy if the events of the first arc didn't happen? So
it could be a branch where they broke up and remained cool. I don't know. I'm not really sure.
And so that like disconnect really threw me off in this show and like made it hard for me to like why is a simple romance, drama / comedy? Why is a simple romance show getting me confused? I don't think a romance show should ever confuse me, like the timeline wise.
I just remember that how do I put this? I liked the main guy. He had more character to me. And to a character, I mean in a good way, not in like a fuck you way, than the main guy of Amagami, who I felt was oscillated between being manipulated, and just crazy.
All main guys in like these types of shows are like just your run-of-the-mill nice dude. Like, the show's not about the guy; it's about the girls.
Yeah, it's
at the end of the day, these are based off of erogays that are.
Yeah, at the end of the day, the anime
meant
is
for guys.
Yeah, at the end of the day, the anime is hey, buy the game, please. That's it. The anime is so.
So I mean, it's like, even with Amagami, it's like I love that show, but did it have like some great story or some like amazing like main character? No, I just loved the girls.
It could have been the council president in Amagami, where the dude found her diary and she almost killed him when she threatened to kill him. It would have been awesome, but he did do that because they're pussies. But
that made no sense. But anyway,
it would have made me happy.
Actual zero sense.
Made me happy. But I just like Seiren. I can't really explain. I like Seiren. I think I like the girls more. I think they had more character. Not more character. More depth as humans. I like the endings in those arcs a lot more than I like the Amagami.
What was the third girl's story?
What was the girl's story? I forget.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because I can't remember either.
I just like it more than Amagami. I can't really explain it to you now. I could, but it's not interesting at all. So.
I give it like a C.
C's a good score. I give it a C.
It was pretty average.
Higher than D minus, so it's a C.
Very average. Okay, next up, this would be a lot of them. Next up we have Shouwa, Genroku, Rakugo, Shinju, Sukeroku, Futatabi.
She says the show
Futatabi-hen
got better.
So
the first season, excellent. I think like really the good. Third best anime of that year.
Something that I got into late.
Loved it. Loved it. Yeah.
You and other people were talking about how good it was, and it was very, very, very good. But this show, so the first season starts with essentially this guy getting out of jail and then meeting up with the main guy
from the first season, to take him under his wing,
but then he goes into his past about his life,
which was outstanding.
So this season starts from that point and goes forward.
They jump really hard because the woman, the rare girl's not pregnant, and we don't see the progression of the relationship at all between those 2 points. They just jump forward there for no reason.
While I wholeheartedly believe that this is 100% worth your time to watch, having seen the first season, and I think you should, and I want you to, I know you're not going to. So I'm just going to spoil the entire thing.
Go ahead.
So, basically, she has a kid.
Right.
Well, so she has a kid, but she's with the main guy, Yotaro.
Right.
And so you're under this assumption, but they don't really talk about that. It's like his kid, but he doesn't really look like him. And essentially, they're together, and it goes through the changing of times, how Rakugo is viewed, and that's in this time in that time,
right.
And Yotaro getting better, trying to learn more about Sukeroku.
Also, I fucking hate his voice actor. Hate it. He's like just grating. Just like it's not Goku levels, but it's not that far off.
I mean, it's supposed to be like
super high strung.
Yeah.
A little higher pitched. Just he only has one fucking gear, and that's fucking all the way. In terms of the overall set of character, much by streaming, pretty much.
I think that gets a little calmed down later because it starts focusing a lot more on Yakumo a little later on, and mostly the most important part is what's Konatsu, the red-haired girl.
Does focus on Rakugo becoming like a dying art, and that it's being encroached on by all these other creature come for his own entertainments?
It's like the evolution of not only dying art, but like what it's becoming. Because I mean, art changes, and it's not a stagnant thing. And so, how Yotaro kind of takes he really likes like Sukeroku, like late Sukeroku's style, and how he wants to incorporate them his own, yet make his own a new, very entertaining form of Rakugo, something that's less droning or whatever, and he wants to give these stories life, and so basically how Yakumo views this, and how he starts questioning, should Rakugo be changing? Should I quit Rakugo? Is this my time over? Should I pass the torch to him?
Right.
A lot of that, and there's a whole bunch of that. I don't really want to talk about it because it's better told as this story. But some of the really important plot points is that Konatsu has a kid, and again they don't really touch on it much, and she's with Yotaro, but they do have a kid together eventually, and basically with that, Konatsu's also getting Rakugo herself and kind of becoming the first female Rakugo.
Well, considering her parents, that makes sense,
right? But that's a struggle and a challenge in itself, because it's like, well, Rakugo's always been done by men, so is this new, if we're going to be like trying to like push the new era of Rakugo, let's try and make it something females can do, and she's really good at it, and she wants to do it, and there's like a whole thing about that. Again, I don't want to get into it, but the other big plot point going on later in the show after they get a lot of that out of the way is now it kind of starts focusing more on Yakumo himself, and about how he one of the twists is that he didn't kill Sukeroku. He did not push him. He was telling her that to make her hate him. Right. The truth is that
he tried to save the woman, and he
what they show something new.
Really,
the actual true thing is that Konatsu as a kid had come into the room and through events had actually caused him to fall, and it kind of like shocked her and made her forget. And so it's something that he's taking with him to the grave, and considering like, should I take this to the grave or let her know that she was the cause of her father's death? Also, just his kind of like connection with Sukeroku, and like how much he misses him, kind of thing, and like what he. It's really hard to describe. The thing about this show, not only in the first season, in the second season, is just like it's something that hard to tell. There's so much more about the actual visuals that just gives so much about this show that it doesn't do you justice to like talk about it. But there's a really, I think the best episode in the entire 2 seasons combined is like the second to last episode in this season. It's so good when Yakumo is really just kind of going down memory lane in a way. But anyways, not only the twist that
she killed her father.
She killed her father, but there's a very, very subtle and implied twist, which is something you do not see in anime often. Something you get to as you start thinking about it, start taking the hints that first child she had may have been with Yakumo. And so the last episode time skips in the future when not only he's grown up, but his little brother, which is a true child of Konatsu and Yotaro together, grown up, and the first kid he's like listening to Yakumo's old stuff, and they kind of like talk about like who his father was, and it strongly hints that it was Yakumo, and so then you have to start putting the pieces together, like, well, how would that have happened? Because she hated his guts.
What's the timeline? Yeah.
So it's there's a lot going on, and again, it does not do me it doesn't do the show justice for me to just talk about it. I think it's very good watching.
I wish they would have gone into more about like nowadays we have so many different ways of entertainment and storytelling that going to that theater in that way, storytelling is kind of a lost art and it's kind of a dying art. He's like the last bastion of it.
Yeah.
Like the only thing we have like that nowadays is audiobooks. Is basically what he's doing.
I mean, I think for tradition's sake, they have Rakugo in Japan.
Oh, for sure. But again, that's like, but as like almost like a sideshow.
But I mean,
as a historical.
What's the card one every New Year?
Card.
Yeah, like it's kind of the same thing as like.
It's a historical.
I think it's just like a historical, like traditional thing you
Yes.
do just to show everyone that this was part of our history.
Right.
I don't think that Karata's some. I could be wrong. I don't think Karata's some like really popular sport that's still going on. What the fuck was the name of that show? Now it's bugging me.
Shy for you.
It's Shy for you. Yeah, goddamn it.
We need season 3 of that.
We do. Anyways, I give the show an A. A, easy A, 100% A.
All right.
The fact is, if Kuzu no Honkai wasn't here, this would easily be the best show this season.
All right.
All right. So no one watched Spirit Pact.
Nope.
So, we're almost at the end then. All right. Next up we have Tales of Zestiria: The Cross Season second season.
Mm-hmm.
So I would go into this pretty deeply, except I have a deal with Moses here, so I'm not.
Am I also watching it for the deal? I can't remember.
Yes, that was the most important part is that you play and watch because I need to talk about.
Oh yeah, the differences.
Stories.
That's right.
Oh fuck. Anyways, actually, so this show's not done. The 12th episode came out at like the beginning of the month, and they're like, last episode comes out at the end of the month, and I'm like, why? And I'm afraid they're doing it because they want to give people a chance to beat Zestiria because they might spoil something in Zestiria because they're crossing it so much over with Zestiria.
Well,
so I'm not sure.
But the game came out in fucking January.
Yeah, but
Japan's had it
came up
even
for
longer.
us. And keep in mind, Funimation is essentially producing this show at this point.
And they realize American sales for games. I mean, like, because of Persona sales in America, Persona hit 1.5 million. So
now, again,
they know
I don't
all these games.
like again. Okay. For anyone who's watching it, whatever you're watching it, and you know maybe, but if you don't, then I don't want to talk about that. This season detracted so hard from the game story. Like the first season was showing like alternate like viewpoints of the story,
Which I really liked.
It was still keeping on with it, and then this season they're like, we're going this way now. We're gonna make a hard right with the story. Fuck, like all of it. And so I'm kind of wondering if the last episode is supposed to be is gonna like spoil something from the game. But it's still really cool. But the problem is that with this shift in story, they're hurting character development. Like character development is getting hit hard.
Did they do
it's
any
kind
more?
of bugging me.
Did they do any more flashbacks to Zestiria like they did in the first season?
Oh yeah.
Oh really?
Oh my god.
Oh, let's skip.
No. Let me just tell you something. Like, Sore pretty much has this like spiritual like quick like 1-2 talk with fucking Velvet, and it just makes no fun. Like, oh my god.
Oh god, I want to watch it now.
They literally like so you know in the game he had like the Celestial Record,
Yeah.
the book. In the anime, there's another book, and it's like Velvet Crow. I'm like, no. There are so many different like it's a whole different fucking like I can't say it's a whole different story because it's still approaching the same goal and ending, but how they're going about it is not the game. It's not even the game anymore. And it got a lot more shonen. It got like 120% more.
Hopefully they answer that one question I wanted to answer in Zestiria, which they didn't do, which I was really pissed about, which is why I think they might be holding out. Just to answer that one question.
They might. I mean, they already spoiled something for me, which I was talking to Anthony about, which he said was not touched upon in the game, but they spoiled it on it in the game.
Maybe that's it.
But it was like they actually didn't say anything. They showed a flashback picture of someone from Zestiria, and they're like, it relates to this in Zestiria. I'm like,
oh, was it the?
Don't say anything.
I know what you're talking about, and it's. Oh,
I need a word.
But I'm just like so I don't know. So I'm hoping. No, shut up. Don't tell him the whole. Well, if you're gonna tell him, you might as well just say it out loud. I don't know.
Just say one word.
Had to do with Magilo.
Okay, never mind. No, that's not what I'm thinking of. Then. That's not what I'm thinking of.
But anyways,
She's great. I like her.
She's nice.
She's pretty awesome.
I'm glad you appreciate Tales of Zestiria, though. I'm glad you did. You may not like it, but at least you appreciate it.
The storytelling. I don't like playing that game at all.
Yeah. Like I said, I'm glad you appreciate it.
Yeah.
but anyways, the anime's still cool. The problem, like my biggest problem, is that they're letting character development take the hit for the sake of changing the story, and that kind of bugs me because it's like anyone who just watches this show without playing the game is not going to understand why Rose is my favorite female Tales character of all time. But whatever.
They changed the opening though, right?
Yeah, the opening's
So it's better opening. Got it.
I mean, it's a good opening,
What are you talking about? That opening sucks.
but okay. Anyway, it's a good opening, but it's not. It's
I just really don't like
it's
the
nowhere
first
near
season.
as good as
I don't
the
like the first season opening. I don't know why Ruben likes it so much.
Speaking of openings, I forgot to say that for Kuzu no Honkai, I like both the opening and ending a lot. So, anyways, that's all. Show's still a lot of fun to watch, although it's pissing me off in some regard. Okay. Next up, we have Urara Meirocho, which... Am I the only one who watched like 2 episodes of this show? At all? Yeah, Mike? Mike, you watched it, didn't you?
No.
Okay. It's not even worth talking about. Let's just move on to the next show. Let's move on to the actual next show. It's going to be Youjo Senki, or Saga of Tanya the Evil.
Yeah.
And it's actually the last new show we're going to be talking about.
Alright.
Oh, I actually done with the spoilers, so I'm actually going to leave it around.
New show. I still have a couple more after this, though. Like, actually 2 more, 3 more, but... Yeah! Boy, what you thought this show was in the first episode and what...
Door doesn't close.
Huh?
Door doesn't close all the way.
Back in.
Fail.
Fuck.
And what you thought this show was in episode 2 are 2 different things. Wait, what are you...
Gonna read in your car?
What's your problem?
I'm actually going to go back and watch Tanya the Evil.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh.
I'm not going to spoil it. So
Okay.
you guys talk about it. I'll be on the porch.
Yep.
Sure. I did. Okay. You gotta close the metal door. You can still hear us. Oh, okay. Yeah. So
no, lock it.
Basic premise is you have a little lolly who's has extreme good magic powers, and she fights in this flying mage platoon in this like World War II esque. No, it's got like World War I, World War II themes at the same time.
Right.
And then, of course, you have all the countries that are renamed, but they're basically all supposed to be like England, Germany, yada yada, etc., whatnot.
Yeah.
Anything you want to say first?
The little girl's a little girl because she was a salaryman who was very pragmatic and was very atheist. And then this guy who he fired pushed him on in front of a train, and then God stopped time and said, "You can redeem yourself." And he regarded it as a little girl, and he knew it too. There's a thing about it.
So, this is one of the shows I watched with the crew at the house every Tuesday.
Fun.
And
she's an outstanding character.
We actually had a somewhat lengthy discussion, a little too long in my opinion, about if the plot point of her being a reincarnated salaryman was at all necessary for this show. Was it necessary for her to have already had she's already blessed by God, essentially.
But I think necessary to have that grudge with God.
The grudge with God, but so if let's say you just removed God, the God aspect, remove the salaryman aspect, and she was just a gifted child mage in this war who's very intelligent. Is that the same show? Is it a better show? Is it a worse show?
I think it's
Because
the same show.
And that's kind of like we more or less got to, because it's like that's all the salaryman thing there was to give us reason for her to have this beef with God, and to essentially have this knowledge of what they should be doing during war to be successful, because she's essentially already seen it done in history.
Right.
What if she was just a very intelligent strategist?
Well, then how do you explain? I guess her like bloodlust. Then.
I mean, I don't think the salaryman thing really explains the bloodlust.
Well, she has a desire to get a cushy military job for the rest of her life, and that explains why she fights so hard and why she's trying to be so.
True, she definitely wants to be lazy, but I don't know. The fact that they just didn't touch on it much more than just set her up as an initial character seemed kind of pointless. But at the same time, it's like it doesn't really make it worse.
No, it doesn't.
It just makes it weird. It makes it kind of like
it's a weird. It's different than where the overpowering empire is your powering empire and stays that way. There's no fall of the empire here. They are the top dog, even though they're being ganged up on.
They were kind of the underdog because they're getting ganged up on.
But they still had the overwhelming power. It's just they can only direct it at certain places.
I think the thing is that without her smart ideas and her ridiculously powerful mage squadron, they may not have been anywhere near as successful as they were.
Sure.
They might have lost that war.
But they had it, though.
Right.
It's not an underdog story at all, for sure.
Now, this show has essentially... I think someone out there either wants a sequel or wants you to read the light novel for it. Because it ends kind of like, oh, well, you fucked up. War's not over.
War never changes.
So...
War has changed, actually.
So... Yeah. But, I don't know. I mean, aside from what makes her, the rest of the story is not really much to talk about, right? I mean, you got a war. There's a lot of political talk. There's a lot of war talk, and I think there was honestly too much because I was kind of just in it for like the mage battles.
Like politics don't really work that well in anime. I mean, that's a really big part of Gundam that I don't like that much, but
if it's done well, it is. I don't know.
I can think of really good anime that's politics like that now.
Well, if I like that,
politics in general, in it.
Politics in general.
Yeah.
I could think of one if I found one. I don't think about it right now. But
again, I think it's like Gundams, all of them. So,
I mean, I think the show. I'm not saying that it had a lack of like battles and focus on Tanya and her squad. I just wish, even with the amount we were given, I wish there was more of it. And they did cut back on the war room, the meetings, the politics.
Yeah. Tanya was the appeal because she is a fantastic character and she carries that show.
She's insane. Yeah.
If that show is not, she done that show wouldn't be shit. So
right. But I mean, the show is the saga of her.
Yeah.
So I mean, it literally would not have the show without her.
Right.
But
I love the part when she had to like give the city warning that they're gonna bomb them. She plays like a little girl voice.
Yeah.
Which is fucking hilarious. Yeah.
I like the art stills that play in the ending. The Castlevania looking art.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
But
I like the art of the series too. Like this, just the giant eyes and faces.
I mean, this is the studio's first show.
It's a good start.
No, not a bad start.
It's a good start.
Studio nut.
Is it top? Is it all uppercase and UT?
D's nuts.
Just nut. Anyways, but yeah, if anyone listening, if you like
strong
crazy
main
war,
characters,
crazy war show with like fucking rabid main characters who questions the existence of God.
Rabid's a good. Rabid, I don't know if Rabid. Rabid is like just like a lack of control. She has control. I think ferocious.
It's a show I could not rewatch.
No, but it's a good show.
At the end of the day, like I did enjoy it for the most part. I think I'd give it a B.
B, yeah.
So B sounds good.
B. All right. B. Alrighty. Next up, guys, we just have a few sequel or continuations to get through. First one is going to be Sangatsu no Lion, or March comes in like a lion. This was a very good show. It was definitely the kind of show that starts off very slowly, but builds up, and once they have like all like the character like the characters built up and the engine going. It's just a show that is completely worth it. I had talked about this last cast, right?
Yeah, unfortunately.
But it still continued very well. Went a lot about his essentially like his mentor's battle for the grand championship of shogi, and about how he, just about his life. And there's a lot I could talk about, but I don't think it's something that I'll do justice by talking about it. But if you're already watching the show, then you're clearly going to be watching more. And if you're not watching the show, it's a great show to watch. Overall, though, since it's done now, I think I would give this show an A-. Very good show. Next up,
I didn't watch it.
we have All Out, the hyper gay-looking rugby show where everyone is far too buff to be in high school. And
We're buff enough to play rugby, though.
yeah, they did practice games and they played games, and this show just kind of fucking ended. This is one of the few sports anime I think I've ever watched where they never really got to like the main tournament. Like they spent the whole time training, overcoming their problems, getting better, playing practice games, and preparing for the tournament. So if there is another season of this show, it's going to be just a rugby tournament.
Did Days get to the tournament?
Did they really make rugby?
No, it didn't. Wait. Days. Fuck. God. Was that? Shit.
That was soccer?
Soccer.
Yeah. I think it started a tournament.
I couldn't get past episode 3.
Did they really make rugby a compelling anime to watch?
I don't think it's hard to make rugby
Okay,
compelling.
here's the thing. I'm glad you said that. Because after watching Haikyuu, that's a good way of putting it. Haikyuu made volleyball a compelling sport. Rugby is a much more interesting sport that was not made very compelling in this show.
That's the problem I had with it, yeah.
There's
a lot of still frames of people. No, there's a lot of people getting tackled and someone like moving the frame around a little bit like this.
Oh, no. Uh-oh.
Nope.
Let's just move the comics.
I mean, oh my god, it's water. I thought it was empty. It sounded empty. Okay, that's fine. That's why I have covers.
That was on you, bitch.
Yeah.
I mean, still frames. I mean, I wouldn't say that the animation is bad. Madhouse is great animation, but I think that I hate to say it because I hate to make it sound like that all sports anime should be the same, but it kind of should be in that they should all have a fucking tournament. Because that's how you get sports to be exciting.
I mean, Ace of Diamond did multiple games and it was really good.
And I feel like if you're able to get through like multiple tournaments in like a show like Ace of Diamond, and like you don't always know if they're going to win or lose, it just gets that much more interesting because you don't know. But not every show's going to get like 100 and whatever we have for Ace of Diamond. So, but I don't know where the show. I don't know if it's going to keep going. It's Madhouse, which means we're probably never getting more, which is fine by me. But I guess I wouldn't mind watching more if we do get more because that means it'll be more tournament oriented.
Yeah, do it, man. Why not?
Yeah. So I'll give it a.
It would suck for somebody, not for me.
I'll give it a B-. Matt, did you finish Classicaloid?
No.
Okay.
Good.
God.
I don't think any.
I dropped that show at episode I mean, you stopped like a few episodes in, I think.
Oh no. I watched the whole first season. I watched up to 12.
Oh,
because
did you?
we were watching together as a house.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
But the thing is, we didn't know it was going to keep going on, and like we're all watching it. We're like, we were watching this hoping it would just be done at the end of the season. But last season, well, this current season, personally, I thought it wasn't that great, but everyone else loved the shit out of it. So like, we had to cut something from last season because this season's so good. I'm like, I don't know, okay. So we cut Classicaloid.
Well, yeah, I got episode like 18 or 19, and then I stopped. Because I was like...
Wow. Like, if I got that far, I would just finish it.
Nah, man.
No.
Here's the thing.
It got way too dumb.
I got to 12 episodes, and I still feel really shitty that I didn't finish it, and part of me wants to just go finish the damn show.
Don't.
Because, like...
There's nothing...
Because the fact that I'm stopping this at 12 makes it sound like, under my criteria, it's worse than Space Dandy, and it's not. Because Space Dandy, I stopped at 9, and that means I gave this more than 9,
But
and stopped it later, which means it's a worse show.
look, this is
So I don't want to. Part of me needs to finish the show.
It's not worth it though. I'm gonna tell you at episode 19, they do not make any progress. It's just more. It's just more shenanigans that they just all the characters kind of deal with, and then it's just, and then it got to the point where problems weren't solved by summoning music.
Music.
They actually stopped doing that,
Okay.
and I was like, oh. This is all of a sudden very shitty. And I also kind of thought when they do it, I thought they were going to go through more of their works that people would recognize, but they kept rehashing the same ones over again. And I was like, okay, well, fuck this. And then I had overlooked something a long time ago, and I don't think I didn't care to remember it. But then when it brought it back, when I was realizing, I'm like, this show's really not doing anything. This show sucks. And then I looked into it more, and I'm like, oh, it's the same writer of Gintama. I hate Gintama. Herper
Oh, yeah, it was. I had faith in Sunrise, but I mean, Sunrise isn't always a hit studio.
No.
So.
I mean, they have...
Aikatsu.
They have the... Yeah. I mean, to be fair, they got the budget to do whatever the hell they want, but...
And they do. Every season they make, like, a lot of shit. But
Yeah,
anyways.
but it's not... It's really not worth your time. And I was tempted to go back and actually just watch the last episode to see what happens with all the characters, because at that point you already knew about this girl's dad that fucking made them, basically.
Right.
I mean, I was kind of debating just watching the last episode to see if maybe he shows up, finds out what happens with all of them, but if it's the writer of Gintama and if it's any indication, every episode up until now, I don't imagine it being a very fulfilling ending, so I kind of...
But Matt, this is where you're wrong, because Gintama's better than Hunter x Hunter.
God! It's
Quote.
whatever.
Mal said so. No, yeah, Mal said so. It's true.
Quote Mark Santos.
I don't
Actually,
think
I was
Mal-
quoting Mark Santos, but
Actually, I don't think Mal rated Gintama higher than
I think he
Hunter.
did, actually.
let's check later. But anyways.
That's really funny.
Yeah, no,
Either way, show sucks. I could not stand any more of it.
Okay, yeah, that's fine. We have just two more then. I want to go into, because of my suffering, Sousei no Exorcist. Fuck it, Twin Exorcist. That doesn't even matter.
Sousei no Exorcist, so like that.
God, I fucking finished the show. Okay,
They
so
kissed.
episode 49, they kissed.
Yeah, got there.
Oh my god. And then episode 50, I was playing Shadowverse, so I didn't really fucking tell. But God, they
Was it worth sitting through 50 episodes?
No!
I told you that
But
already.
I had to.
No, you
I
didn't.
had to
You
give
chose
it a
to.
chance. I had to do it.
Take fucking responsibility for your
had
actions.
to do it.
Oh,
had to.
God.
Anyways, yeah, they.
Yeah, it's all right. It's good.
So at the last episode, they're everyone's getting ready for a wedding, and you think it's gonna be the main two's wedding.
Yeah.
And then right at the end, it's not their wedding, and they're going to someone. They're going to the. His bro and some other girl's wedding. I forget who the fuck, that doesn't matter. But it was aha, funny, isn't it? I'm so fucking glad the show's over.
Yeah, you
But they pretty much DB this whole show was just literally DBZ in terms how the fucking combat was, because they were just we're not getting strong enough, stronger, power up, stronger, resonance, stronger, fireball, stronger. Okay, you fireball hard enough with your willpower, so you win.
Are they also harder, better, and faster?
They're harder, and better, and faster.
That's all.
I don't know. Anyways, there's nothing worth talking about. This show sucked, and it's a D. Straight D. For dicks are better to watch than this show. Alright.
Okay.
Gross. Well, at least we can end on not such a shitty note.
Yeah, alright. Last show, we're going to do
God.
Kido Senshi Gundam Teketsu no Orphans 2. So, second season, which is still 25 episodes. That means this Iron Blood Orphans has been going on for 50 episodes total, right?
Yes.
So
And
over a year.
it's over?
Yes.
Okay.
So, I don't actually remember what I talked about last time, but blonde-haired girl that got the position on Mars in an office, working for some company, whatever. So, she's safe,
But now, I think I mentioned something about Gjallarhorn, like these like space like.
You mentioned a lot about this show, and it's hard for me to keep track over the course of a year.
All right, so fucking Gjallarhorn, this like space military whatever. There's this guy who is made out to be the bad guy. His name is Rustal Elian, and he's like, wow. Anyways, I remember saying something about these two guys, a blonde guy and a blue-haired guy. The blue-haired guy died because he got betrayed by the blonde one, kills him, except he didn't actually die. And then the guy that was a lieutenant under the blue-haired guy, his brain gets like preserved into this AI system that they put in his Gundam, where he fights by using the same system where they plug the little thing in your back and it allows you to sync up with the machine and whatnot. Except he also has the power of this AI that was his lieutenant. He goes after... He just wants revenge on the blonde-haired bastard. Blonde-haired guy goes in and gets this like ancient like buried Gundam that was supposed to be the end-all be-all authority of Gjallarhorn. So he gets in there, tries to get everybody on his side, and Rustal's like...
It's the Ultra Unicorn.
And then Rustal's like, yeah, fuck you. And the rest of his military still tries to take him out. He retreats to Mars along with all of the orphans, and they're made out to be these criminals. And then they're like, oh, well, we have nowhere to go. Like, what do? We got to fight to the end, right? So they do this all-out battle, and they lose. Mm-hmm. And they're like, fuck. Retreat to Mars. What do we do? Rustal gives them, like, I forget how many days, and says, you all are going to come out and surrender, or I'm going to blow up the entire surface. Like, I'm just going to turn it all into glass. And they're just like, well, fuck. So what do we do then? And of course, the leader of this whole thing that started out from like ever ago doesn't know what to do. He's like lost entirely. So he goes and talks with the blonde-haired girl in the city, like that's working for this other company. Says, what do you think we should do? I don't care. I don't even care about shit anymore. I just want my bros to live. That's all he wants. They figure out something. They tunnel underneath, and they were going to escape through there. They were going to go back to Earth with this old dude that the blonde-haired girl has connections with, and then change your names. Change your names.
They're going to dig a tunnel from Mars to Earth.
Yeah, well, no, but
I got it.
So anyways, after the negotiations are done, and leader steps out of the fucking thing. There's like you see this black car with a bunch of guys in suits and sunglasses that just gun him down.
Oh, so the leader of orphans?
Yeah, Orga.
Oh fuck.
He dies.
Yeah. Okay.
Spoiler alert, he dies. He gets gunned down.
Is that the guy with silver hair?
Yes.
Yeah.
With the little thing. Yeah, he dies. He gets
Mm-hmm.
gunned down, and of course the other guy who lives only to do what Orga tells him to do has no idea this is going on. So then he finds out, and then he goes, and then you see this like little scene that's supposed to be touching where the screen's all white, and it just shows like their past selves like talking to each other kind of thing. And it's like, what do you think I should do? And then bro happens, and then he goes all out and fights all these things, and Mikazuki dies.
Okay.
In battle.
Cool.
Now,
from what I'm watching of Blood of Orphans, fitting. He
dies. Yeah. And the Gundam also is like shattered to pieces, like he gets owned horribly. But then and then in the end, I think, well, the protagonists die. Like, the fuck? And then when you actually see the whole resolution...
What the fuck, the girl dies?
No, the girl does not die.
Oh.
Now, here's the funny thing, though. Before he dies, so the blonde-haired girl, actually, you find out she admits that she actually really likes Mikazuki.
Yeah.
And then they don't actually turn out to be anything, though. But remember the other little girl that was, helping out on Mars? Yeah. She's younger than him, but, they actually end up having a thing.
Okay.
So then, because, her and the blonde-haired girl were talking with each other, and it was, not really a sense of, competition, but they were just, so, I kind of like this guy. It's but, I mean, I think you're the clear winner. The blonde-haired girl tells this little girl, she's the clear winner. She's, 14. And then, so she goes, she goes and talks about, making, a child with him. And, you think this is a joke, right? And he actually ends up getting her pregnant.
That's illegal.
So I was like, holy crap. Well, he's not 18 either.
Still illegal.
And
it's a lot more important things going on.
They're also on Mars, so laws are different.
Oh, well, of course. Then not a mistake.
And then,
is that all I have? I mean,
so she tells the news to the blonde-haired girl, oh yeah, I'm pregnant. And then that's when she admits to her that she also likes him, and she goes, oh well, I mean, why don't you have a child with him too then? I was like, what? That was the funniest moment.
So is this still a Gundam
show?
Okay. Well, I try to remember the last time I heard you say the word Gundam.
Well, okay, so the remember the end all be all Authority Gundam? Okay, the blonde bastard took over, tried to get everybody to his side. Well, he basically also dies fighting the blue-haired guy, and he basically like his whole thing is he just wanted to know why. He wanted to know why he did all this shit. And then he doesn't give him any closure, which, of course, like, in anime, you know, you have, like, the anti-hero who's not really a bad guy, but he's, like, working with the guys that are made out to be the bad guys. And then he's only doing it for his own agenda. And it's, like, one of those things that's shown in anime.
Oh, it's like how Outdoor Zero is supposed to end.
Yeah. Like, Moses, I don't understand this, but it's like a thing in shonen anime I notice where, like, when one guy just wants to know, he, like, tracks down some guy, a character, fights him and beats the shit out of him and is about to kill him, but like all he really wants, like doing all this, is closure, like why he did something, and then he doesn't say anything and then just dies, and then we'll never know. Like apparently that's a thing that they hate. I don't know why, but anyways, then it turns out in the whole resolution of everything, Rustle actually goes to the blonde hair girl and basically says like, look, here
It's rape time.
no.
I mean,
he basically just
Mars. So it's not rape time.
Well, he actually takes over all of Gjallarhorn, that space military group. He takes it all over. And everyone is on agreement with him, and he basically says, well, you know, I kind of was going to come to terms with you guys anyways, and I was actually going to lay out, like, a whole peace treaty thing with giving you guys rights. And, like, I was going to lay out that, you know, you guys would get to govern the things how you want, but you just had to not do it the way that these group of, like, orphans are trying to do it. And then I was just like sitting there the whole time like, so you really weren't even the bad guy, but you were treating all these kids like they were criminals. And then like he actually kind of laid out like everything like he had on them, like and why they were labeled as criminals. So I was just like, in the end, I actually couldn't disagree. I was like, oh my god, like he actually had a point. He was actually trying to do things the right way while taking over all of Gal. I was like, wow. I thought he was this big douchebag the entire time who just wants to, like, kill everybody. But I was like, he actually had, like, reasons. And I was like, oh, my God. He's actually not a bad guy.
You know, I wanted to watch that show until I saw it was 50. Like, once it got pointed for another one, I was like, no.
Welcome to Gundam.
Yeah. I mean...
That most I got better thing for you is called Zoids.
Shut the fuck up. You shut your fucking mouth.
There, like, the fact that there are more Gundam series that are at least 24 episodes rather than 13, 12... is pretty amazing for that series. Like, I'm trying to think one off the top of my head that are only 13, 12. I think the 00 MS Force.
Yeah.
Is that only 12?
8th MS Force.
The 8th MS team.
The toy one where you battle
SD
Star
Gundam.
with a hot mom.
SD Gundam.
Is that only 12?
No, that is
Build
24.
Fighters keep going.
Build Fighters is 24. Build
Then
Fighters
Try.
Try is 24.
I'm sorry.
But
So-
but they're two separate things. Like characters from the first season don't show up.
So what other... I mean, okay, the fact it still negates my thing because the first season alone is already 24. So how many besides 8th MS team is only 13 episodes? The Gundam Unicorn movie you said was only 7.
But I mean,
there are movies.
Yeah.
They're 45 minutes long.
So 7:45 is almost like 14.
Thunderbolt is 4.
Okay.
Then you have 0080 and 0083, which are 1. You have Char's Counterattack, which is 1. You have F91, which I believe is 12 or less. That did not go for 24.
The fact is, like, when you see a Gundam announced, like a new Gundam show announced on any chart, I think it's safe to assume assume that it's going to be at least 24 episodes.
Oh yeah,
That's a safe.
unless it's like an off side story. If it's not like a main like focus, like if it's not a brand new like one like Iron Blooded Orphans, or it's not like a side story of the Universal Century, then yes, it will probably be at least 24 to 25. There's a new one that they announced. I cannot wait for. It's called Twilight Axis. Oh my god! But anyways, the thing is, Moses, like all you have to really do, or actually. Mobile Fighter G Gundam was only 24, and that was the only season.
I was actually going to ask about that one.
That's the one with the guy
No,
who gets
I remember it. I was going to ask how many episodes it was.
It has a baller opening. It's
Is
really
that the one
great.
that Brian likes a lot?
Yes. The Shining Finger.
Because it's shonen.
Also, it's not actual like politics and fighting. It's an arena.
Yeah, I know. So, I mean, one day I will...
Century Zero?
One day I will finish Gundam Wing. One day.
Like the thing is, like for
I already done my homework. I watched Seed. We're good.
okay, well that's
See,
not.
I watched Destiny and I just can't.
No. Wait, you watched Destiny without Seed?
I don't remember whichever one came first. It was on Toonami.
Because Destiny was a sequel to Seed, and I got 5 episodes in, fell asleep, and dropped it.
Yeah, it's pretty dope. The thing is, Seed itself was 50 episodes, and then Seed Destiny is 50 episodes.
Seed was not bad. I watched all of it, and I enjoyed Seed for the most part.
Seed
Keep
was
in mind, it was one of the first anime I ever watched. That was back when Jason got me an anime in high school, and he gave me like the box sets for everything. That was like Cowboy Bebop DVDs, and like the Fullmetal Alchemist, the first DVDs. And
Still never seen Cowboy Bebop.
It's pretty good.
But anyways,
yeah, Gundam. This isn't by far. It's not the best Gundam. I have a coworker who says it's the best, but that's just because he's a bro, so he really likes the whole like bro aspect of this whole thing, because that's really what it's about. It's not even really about the politics of it. Like you can watch this with knowing little about politics and you still know what's going on. They don't make it complicating at all. They focus on the camaraderie of like all these people that started their own shit because they had nowhere else to go, and then shit happened and that gave them an opportunity, but they didn't really do anything of it. A lot of them just died.
The last couple casts, when you've been talking about this show, your opinion of it was like you had like a good opinion of it when it started, and then it was like on this like decline, and now you're like kind of like it. So did the show end better than you thought it was going to?
I mean, I got resolution, and that's really kind of what I want, and it actually took a different turn than I was not expecting, so it gets points for that. Overall, like between like both seasons, if I had to rate like the entire goddamn thing,
I think you should rate the entire goddamn thing now it's all over.
Like it gets like a B-.
Okay,
it's not bad.
It's honestly like it's not by any means one of the worst Gundam shows I've ever seen. But
you have to finish it, man. It's your ninja way.
It's so bad.
That's why.
Wait, is there a Gundam you didn't finish?
Yeah.
Are you?
It is literally the only Gundam.
Stop slacking.
Not
Stop.
finished.
You have to finish it, man.
How many episodes is it?
It's 24.
Oh, you can do that.
And it's only one season,
I can do that.
and I got to episode 8 and I had to stop. It's so bad. Though the original writer of Tomino, the guy who is known for like writing Gundam stories, even came out and apologized for it.
If Ruben can finish Naruto, you can finish that.
Well, I didn't.
Yeah, you did. You watched the last episode.
I mean, that's.
Anyways,
I skipped like 100-something episodes.
Well, those are filler.
At least.
Those are filler.
If anybody like listening has ever been curious about Gundam and finds it to be something a little too overwhelming or daunting to get into just because of how many series there are, this is a standalone one that's not part of any other Gundam series. You could watch Iron-Blooded Orphans just by itself without watching any of the other ones, and you'd be fine. Honestly, like there's no tie-in at all. But is it the best? I mean, it's not what I would recommend. It's not even in my top 5. Like, usually for people who don't know Gundam that might want to get into it, that I want to give them a good gateway into it, I will usually say Wing, I will say 00, I will say Unicorn, and I will say Thunderbolt. But, I mean, that's just me, though. I mean, and if you don't like the whole politics thing and you just want to see dudes, like, get in a gigantic, like, arena, like Earth is like your arena and you just fight people in a big tournament.
Then now No Zero is anime for you, right?
Then that's Mobile Fighter G Gundam. That's
that
why
anime's for no one.
That anime sucks. Who is it that hasn't seen the
George didn't watch the first episode of season 2. We're gonna watch it one day before Ruben leaves.
That episode like made me have like a
that episode's great. It's not the season.
I'm still healing over the aneurysm.
God, I feel like I had like a hemorrhage when I watched that episode. It was so dumb.
So great.
And actually, there's the studio that helped A1 do it, Troika. So they're doing a show this season.
Yeah.
That's like the same art style, except it's totally different.
As out now?
Yeah. And it's all the music is also done by the same guy that did.
I don't know. It was a really good
I
animation.
need to check that show out still.
I mean, let's be honest. Like, if it wasn't for that season, I know it'd be an amazing show. It's just that fucked up everything.
Like episodes 1 through 12 is a 9 out of 10.
Amazing.
But as soon as you hit episode 13,
Yeah.
the show drops to like a 4.
It's a problem.
All right, let's wrap it up. All right, so, oh god, no, that's not
Juliet?
No.
Fails or
Boy, we do.
Okay, all right, we're good. So, all right. So I prefaced the beginning of this cast by saying that I do think this is the weakest season we've had since the Maho Senso season.
Winter 2014. I remember that season.
Gross.
So,
This
in the last 3 years.
like 2015.
But there were still a couple of great gems. I mean, any anime season is going to have a show I like. If there's an anime season where I literally don't like a single show, well then anime's dead. Anime's not dead yet.
Yeah.
But I mean, one day it might happen. But so you want to do the usual favorite opening, ending, female, male characters, favorite show, best show.
Sure.
All right. Should I start?
Sure.
All right. I had a good one, and then I fucking lost it. God damn it. Well, my favorite opening is Fuuka's opening, Climber's High. My favorite ending might be Kuzu no Honkai's ending. Shit. I fucked this up real bad. My favorite show is Gabriel Dropout. The best shows, Kuzu no Honkai. Favorite female character would have to be Raphael from Gabriel Dropout, because she is actually perfect. My favorite male character is the main guy from Demi-chan, the interviews.
He's good.
He's great.
Good.
So yeah, those are mine. What are yours, Mike?
Favorite opening is probably Alexis' opening.
Okay.
Favorite ending is probably Tanya. Favorite show, best show, Scum's Wish. Best female character, probably Tanya. Best male character, probably Mugi.
All right. Matt?
I'm sorry, no, let me not bullshit. Akane, best female character.
Favorite opening was Fuuka's. Favorite ending. You know what? I don't know if I actually listened to a lot of endings.
The overall soundtracks for this season were not great.
Actually, Chaos Child.
Which one was it? Actually, I forgot to mention that. That opening for that show is actually legit my favorite, like, Mage's song, like Ito Kaneko song, favorite song of all. Like,
Oh, really? Even better than the Science Game?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
So I like the Science Gate opening. I do. It's a fine song. I never liked it as much as everyone else. I think it was a fine song though. I think I liked the Science Gate, or one of the other Science Gate songs better. But no, I absolutely love the Chaos Child opening, and it'd probably be my favorite opening if Fuuka's wasn't there.
Hey, I liked the ending as well. So
I remember what it was. Well, actually, if I can remember the name, let me see if I can find it. What about characters?
Shit.
Oh, the Konami Suzuki song.
Yes.
Oh,
That was the best.
That was
ending.
a good song.
That was the best ending. Anyways, male character. Actually, for lack of a better choice, since I'm the only one who watched it, I actually want to say Rustle.
Okay.
But, anyways, female character. Shit. Do I just be shit garbage tier and say Kana?
I was also thinking about being a fucking meme monster and saying don't lewd the lolly. What was the stupid thing that people, like ravioli, don't lewd the lolly? I was like, who the fuck thought that up? Like, who the actual fuck thought, like, ravioli? Lewd lolly? Like, how, in what universe did that mix?
I don't even fucking...
That girl is a fucking monstrosity. Anyways.
Yeah.
Are you going to say Kana for real or no?
Actually, I probably am.
Okay.
And then the best show is Kuzu no Honkai. My favorite show... Well... it was probably between that and Chaos Child.
Chaos Child was awkwardly great. I was not expecting it to be that good. Alright, well, like I said, we're already kind of getting our way into this current season, so it won't be long until we make another one. Our future cast from here on out will be recorded over like Skype or something. So that'll be interesting. But hopefully it'll make scheduling easier. I don't know. So until next time, see you.
Peace.